Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Four Horsemen of the Toon show. It is Monday night. It's time for more crazy capers. And tonight we have the panel of Mr. PD Proudlock, Mr. John Sinclair, and Mr. Karl from NFTV. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Right. We've had loads of comments coming in already. Most of them, as you can expect, on a Monday night. Not the cleanest, but what the hell. We'll start off with the match, actually. Peter, I know you didn't get to do any of your videos or anything because of friend stuff going on. So what was your opinion of the game, and do you think we actually should have won that game?
From what I did see, that was an opportunity, I must say. I think you look at that game, there was more effort than what we did against Brighton. Just some of the chances we should have taken. Dwight Gill with that chance, Joelinton in the second half.
Yeah.
A goal, one of their goals could have been preventable. Emil Kraft, what are you bloody doing, mate? Absolutely load of rubbish.
I'll never understand what he was doing. I mean, why didn't he just,
let Dubravka come for it?
Yeah, or punt the ball into the stands, do something
exactly.
with it, but just let it hit his leg, and then obviously Harry Kane thinks it's fucking Christmas and just goes in and scores. I mean, absolutely shocking defending.
Absolutely.
Karl, I caught up with a bit of NFTV stuff last night. After I did my live reaction show, I sort of switched onto the watched you. I think you did the fan reaction on your channel. Watched that. It was interesting to see what a lot of fans said, but there was a lot more positivity last night. I mean, my reaction show had a lot of positivity. I wasn't blowing a gasket. A lot of the fans that came on the live comments were saying the same. It was a bit of a relief, but we're 3 points clear now, but this Burnley game becomes absolutely huge, doesn't it?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We've spoken about it before, and that we haven't taken opportunities that the teams around us have given previously. Villa have gone and done us a favour last night again. Not Villa again, but we've been done a favour by another team again. So it does make that Burnley game absolutely huge. With 3 points clear at the moment. Obviously, our goal difference is terrible. So, yeah, I think that Burnley game has now become possibly one of the most important games, if not the most important game of the season, to be honest, mate.
Certainly a game that I believe if we play well enough, we can actually get something from. And yeah. I've never said that for a long time. But John, before we come on to your thoughts about the game, I'll get a few comments out the way, because the likes of Chippers, etc., are desperate to get the comments read out, because they've probably been planning this all weekend, as we know Chippers normally does. The first one is: walked into Blythe Butchers this morning. John was touching his toes and said to Joelinton, "Fancy scoring again, since you don't score in back-to-back games." Tom says John and Joelinton on Blythe Beach swinging his big Brazilian sausage around the public were completely shocked. Good evening, Martin. Chippers again saying, John, how was your wet dream last night after Joelinton's goal? I knew something like that would be coming, because obviously as soon as Joelinton scored, I thought of John instantly. I mean, I know I did the watch along with John yesterday, and I just kept quiet. I was pleased Joelinton scored, but then I thought, my God, the comments tomorrow night on this show are going to be rancid. John Richards, good evening. Northumbria police have issued a warning about two random blokes swinging their sausages about on Blythe Beach. Apparently, one they know is some Brazilian called Joelinton, but not sure who the second is. Martin said a certain person on Twitter admitted to getting a Jim will fix it badge. Then he was buggered up the hair arse and all his hair fell out. I think we know who he's talking about there, which I will come on to at some point in the show, and believe me, it's a rant. Evening, Peter. Evening, Karl, NFTV. I don't know why he's left you out, John, but he obviously doesn't like you.
I'll be having words with him later on, mate.
Hey, John, I'm liking the rolls on your top there. You look like a bit like the Michelin Man there, with your big arms with your rolls on them.
I think I bought this from Amazon the other day, and it seems like it needs a bit of iron, if I'm honest with you, but.
Yeah, it seems like it's come from China, mate, but never mind. John says Joelinton has told everyone that he does not like pot noodle Bombay bad boys and instead prefers a Bristol bad boy who goes by the name of John. Oh, brilliant. Right, John, go on. Before I read any more out, I know I did the watch along with you yesterday. We were quite impressed. It wasn't the normal watch along where we were talking about gardening with Alan Titchmarsh halfway through the game. We actually we stayed quite glued to the game, and it was good stuff, really. I mean, it was nice to see us. The thing I said on my match reaction and me play ratings video, things like that I was really proud of the lads because finally, when we went behind, we didn't drop our heads or anything like that. We kept going at them and it paid off and got a point. It really should have been 3 had we taken more of our chances. But we have, considering the situation we were in at 2-1 down, a point is a point towards safety, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, look, I've always said if you put an effort in for the whole game, then you win. And we're just going to praise that sort of thing. But I thought we played really well yesterday. I mean, we deserved a goal. We took it to Spurs. I didn't think Spurs were that great. And but you know what? That's shocking.
Yeah, exactly. Man. I mean, I mean, John, it was nice to, obviously on a serious note, to see Joelinton score, wasn't it? But the defenders let him down. As soon as we kicked off, we concede, and that goal just goes to pot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought he should have scored before that with a shot strike to keep earlier on. But he scored well. He couldn't really miss that, can he, to be quite honest with you. But I think the lad must have been so pleased when he scored that first goal, and it gave him a bit of confidence. The problem is, though, that's only what is 4th goal in the Newcastle in the league. He should be doing a lot more. But what I like to see from him more, he should hold the ball up a bit more and have belief in himself, if you know what I mean. But he missed a couple of chances in the second half, or 2. One of them when he thought it was offside, it wasn't. And then the other chance he had when he threw it wide. And that's just been the story of our season, missing the chances. Can't say missing the chances. But listen, I thought when Willock got that goal late on, it just took the weight of our shoulders a little bit. But even though it's a good point, it's still 2 wins in 21. And
it is.
That's the
it's
problem.
Not good enough. I mean, I'm not letting Steve Bruce off with this just because we've drawn against Tottenham. It's still the same situation as per with Steve Bruce, as far as I'm concerned. It was just nice to actually see a bit of fight, apart from John Joe Shelby and Emil Kraft, who both really should be sent to the middle of the ocean and stuck on some island somewhere far away and never to come back. John Joe's legs have gone. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The pace of the game is now passing them by. Anyway, I gave Joelinton man of the match yesterday. I'm not afraid to admit it. I give him an 8 out of 10. I gave him man of the match. A lot of people were saying Murphy, and yes, Murphy had a very, very good game as well. But I thought, given how Joelinton's performed, I thought, yesterday he was really, really good. I know the guys at NFTV were really happy with him as well. Certainly watching the last word with Lee last night, he said he was outstanding or something along them lines. I mean, it's nice to talk about a player for once in a positive way. So anyway, here we go. A few more comments, guys. Tom says 2 Irish couples decided to swap partners for the night after 3 hours of amazing sex. John and Joelinton says, I wonder how the girls are getting on. My God. James Brown, good evening, lads. Oh dear. I hope you're feeling good, James. Hey, get it? Get the pun?
Oh, yes.
Yes, never mind. Moving on. Evening, lads. What did you make of Joelinton's performance yesterday? And do you think that's why Bruce keeps selecting him? Because it's what he's been doing on the training pitch. Peter, I mean, I'm not getting sort of carried away with Joelinton. He's had one good game, and I'm not going to let anybody tell me that he's not a poor footballer unless he dramatically, performs week in, week out like he did yesterday. I will still to this day believe it's something in his contract that he has to play him at such amount of games. But I mean, what did you make of Joelinton?
He did very well. Indeed. It was great how he took his first goal. I know it's a tap, but he was at the right place, got his boot through it. He puts it in the back of the net. The second one, the chance he had in the second half, I think he should have put that one in. I must say.
Yeah, I mean, it was given offside, wasn't it? But had it gone to VAR, there's no way that was offside in a million years.
No, never. No, definitely wasn't. Now, what I will say is, if you are want the chance to start the game, now's the chance to try and prove it against Burnley.
Yeah.
Against West Ham.
Yeah.
Against who we're playing after that, etc.
It's got to be consistency now, though, hasn't it, Karl? I mean, that's what we want from Joelinton, isn't it? We want to see consistency now, not just one game in 72 where he actually looks like a decent footballer. I mean, he did well yesterday because he used his strength. I mean, that's what I said to John through the watch-along. He was using his strength to hold up the ball. He was taking people on. And even his goal, he took really confidently. I mean, how many times have we seen Joelinton go to pieces in the 18-yard box? Especially when he knew he had an open goal, that would have put the pressure on him more, and he took it well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've probably had I agree with you. He's not a great footballer at all. The one thing I've probably come into stick for is that I haven't wanted us to drop him just because I know it's bad. Like, because in context, I'm trying to do this in context. Like, he has gradually been getting better in the games that he's been playing, but again, he has been missing sitters.
Yeah.
So, like, when people were talking about it, I was like, I really, the form that he's in context, I wouldn't mind keeping him in just to see what he could do. And yeah, great that he's got a goal yesterday. And I'm not saying that I know anything about football. I don't. I always thought he might do well yesterday because he does. You tend to do well against Tottenham. He did in the first game.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he did last season. So, yeah, 100%, mate. Consistency is absolutely the thing. And I just thought, realistically, him playing on that right, you know, with the international, we didn't really have anyone to replace him anyway. You know, if other than Jacob Murphy, and Bruce has used him at that kind of wing back position anyway. So yeah, it's annoying because that first touch that he's had for the second chance, great first touch. He's allowed himself probably another extra second there, but he's just snatched at it, and he's done that far too many times. He just needs to. I'm just hoping that this goal is maybe going to give him a little bit more confidence. He just needs to take his time more in front of goal because you can see he's just snatching at everything.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, he set the second goal up as well. Beautiful cross by Richie, and you know, he rose and he wanted that. He wanted to win that ball. He wanted to win the header at the far post. He did it. Obviously, Miggy was unlucky. It almost got the goal anyway, but Willock smashed it in. That's what we need from Joelinton. But I did say to John early in the first half that, you know, what I want to see more from Joelinton is when he's won the ball in sort of the middle of the park or just further forward, and then he lays it off to someone else. I want to see Joelinton busting a gut to get into the box and not just jog in there, because if you look at the likes of Wilson, who are out and out strikers, they lay the ball off and then bang, they're gone straight into the penalty area, and that's what I want to see. But Joelinton isn't an out and out striker, so I understand in a way why he doesn't do that. But you know, if he's playing in that position, then that's when I would expect the coaches to coach him to do that, to say, right, you lay the ball off, Big Joe, and you get your ass into that 18-yard box, because that is where the ball is going to end up. So, you know, we need you in there. Chippers is on fire tonight, lads. What can I say? John's condom after using it on Joelinton was like a froob had been demolished. Chippers, that is sick even for you, man. That is terrible.
Bastard.
James Brown, has Joelinton been getting any more Dutch rudders lately? Because by the looks of it, yesterday's performance, it certainly looks like something has been going on. Chippers again. John and Joelinton's in WWE, and their finishing move is the Cleveland Steamer. Train son, John said to Joelinton, great to see you sneaking at the back and finish so well. Joelinton said, what about my goal today? On to more football and side of related things. And Andrew says, I would love to see Jose at the Toon. I don't know about that one. I really don't. I'm not so sure. John, Jose?
Well, he's a winner, isn't he? I mean, look at the CV. Look at what he's won. I mean, the thing is, I'd like to see world-class managers come to Newcastle. I mean, okay, the football ain't going to be exciting, but at the end of the day, he's a champion manager. And if you can get a champion manager on a CV like that to come to your club, such as Newcastle, you're going to get excited, are you? So if he came to Newcastle, I think he always wanted to manage Newcastle because to follow his footsteps of Bobby Robson. He said this before, but he needs proper backing, and he'll probably want 15 million a season to manage Newcastle. And there's no way he's going to get that here.
Very, very true. Tom says, Peter, Richie made a difference yesterday, played well. Hopefully he starts all the games till the end of the season. It was nice to see Richie back in actually and see that bit of sort of fight and passion. And one thing I love about Richie is if someone balls it up, he lets them know. And even if he does it himself, he punches himself. There was a cross yesterday in the second half that he overhit. And the camera stayed on him. You could see him. He was absolutely going mental with himself. So, yeah, he's captain for me.
That's why he likes to give 110%. Great to see him back. And I'm glad Bruce did recall him back. And Sean Longstaff must have thought, right, we are in a serious relegation battle.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put our differences aside. I want to get you back in and get you back up playing on that football pitch again to the end of the season.
Steve Bruce has come out this morning and said that the bust up has been completely forgotten and it's water under the bridge. I don't think that will ever be water under the bridge, to be honest. I think the two of them, fair enough, have done well to put it behind them now. But that could come and rear its ugly head again in time. I've no doubt about that. Guys, if you do enjoy the show, please do smash the like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do consider subscribing if you enjoy what you watch. And all the guys that are on the show tonight, their channels are linked down below in the description. Go and give everybody a follow. I think I'm only 20 away or 21 away from 2,000, so be nice to hit that soon. It's been going up and down today. I have a feeling I know why, which I will come on to at some point. So get ready for a special Ditchburn rant because it is going to be one. But never mind. Let you know that Archer's comment is coming next, guys. So from Chippers to Archer, it doesn't get more. Here we go. If Bruce keeps us up, his reward will be Mrs. Cisse. We'll be getting steaming in a hot tub in a mankini. If Bruce gets us down, he will have a rocket up his arse and blast off to the stadium of shit. And here is Joelinton, by the way. John, John, you've got me doing the crab walk after last night's session with me and you. Joshua Barnard, good evening, Josh. Hope you're well, mate. Big Karl, love you, brother. There you go. There's some support for Karl.
Appreciate that, mate.
Thank you recently for subscribing as well, Joshua, to the channel. It makes I think he likes Josh, doesn't he? Or does he go off Joshua?
Say that again, sorry.
Does he like Josh or Joshua?
I'll just refer to him as Josh usually.
Yeah. I think a lot of Joshua's just like Josh, don't they? It's weird.
Yeah.
Ken, good evening to you, my man. Jose would bring the excitement back. It would be like Keegan. I think he'd bring excitement to the fans, but as for the football on the pitch, I'm not so sure. Joelinton again says, yeah, that's true. John dressed me up yesterday. He put me in a dress and called me his Cinderella and made me twerk on his sausage until there was so much friction his sausage burnt. Oh my God! I don't know where you guys get this sense of humor from. It's terrible. Andrew says, Paul, is that an AFC Wimbledon top? I have asked before. Yes, it is, mate. I think everybody knows my affinity with Wimbledon through my granddad, so that's why. Jake says, it's nice to see Joelinton finishing in something other than John. Oh my God. Chippers, Joelinton has a cucumber called John. Hey, you're on form tonight, guys. You're on form. Andrew says it would be class to get Jose in. Dave, good evening, my man. I hope you're well. I hope our family's well. Good evening, lads, and everyone. Hope you're well. John Bruce is with us again. Evening, Paul and the lads. Absolutely, Karl. You must have said something that he agrees with. And Andrew says, evening, Chippers, you dirty bugger. Yes, I think dirty bugger's been a bit clean for Chippers tonight because he's obviously had these written down for a long time. Right. If we go back and talk about Jacob Murphy, Karl.
Yeah.
I thought this guy, I've been saying, and I think Peter agrees because Peter's been saying it for a while, and maybe John, I'm not so sure on John's thoughts on Murphy, but I think he should be in the starting lineup. I think his crossing has improved so much since he went out on loan. He's come back. He can hit that ball perfectly into the 6-yard box and create real problems with his crossing. And when he doesn't, I mean, there was once in the second half, he made a poor cross. It was headed out, but he won the ball straight away again. and then he cut inside. So he didn't decide to cross it again. He took a man on, cut inside, and created a shooting opportunity. So because he's 2-footed, that creates so many problems for defenders.
Absolutely. What I was going to ask you is, because I appreciate where everyone was coming from with this previously, and my only argument was, like, because I didn't disagree, is that we hadn't seen enough of him for a prolonged period of time in games. So he was coming on 15, 20 minutes, being really effective, and then when he was given a chance to play 90 minutes, he wasn't as effective. But yesterday, again, he was excellent.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, actually, yeah.
He was excellent yesterday. So what I would ask to yourselves, would you carry on playing him in that kind of wing back position, or would you have him as an out and out winger? Where would you think his best position is? Because I agree, like, he brings a lot that we're missing.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't. After seeing how we performed with that formation yesterday, I wouldn't be upset if we went with that formation.
No, I
Burnley.
I agree.
You know, but I don't think. I think there's a couple of players need taken out. I would replace Fernandez for Kraft. Get Kraft out the team, because honestly, he's as much use as a limp penis. He really is. He's just no good at all to anybody. And John Joe Shelvey, I think the game has passed him by. Again, he made one fantastic ball yesterday for Dwight Gale's header, which was brilliantly saved. And Dwight Gale should have actually done better, in my opinion, on the rebound. He should have lashed that in rather than just try and side-foot it in. But we've seen that before. With that's why I don't think that Gale is a Premier League striker. But you know, I mean, I would play Murphy there, and I would keep him there, and I would keep the formation. I mean, we can all, you know, make changes to that formation once people are fit. You know, ASM can come in, Wilson can come in. You know, but again, it means that if we can play like that, then maybe we don't have to rely on Wilson to come back so quickly, if you know what I mean. It's like we can maybe put him on the bench for a couple of games and bring him on with half an hour to go to get his fitness up, rather than throw him straight in. Because I would hate for Wilson to come back and then, you know, do his hamstring or something in straight away. I just think Shelvey's a weak link. He doesn't inspire anybody. He's not a leader. Which, you know, all these rumours about, apparently it's true that Lascelles handed in a resignation for the captaincy, that he didn't want to know Steve Bruce, which is the first decent thing that Steve Bruce has done, is not to take the captaincy off him, because the next in line is Shelvey, and he just doesn't inspire anybody as far as I'm concerned. So to make him captain would have been a big mistake. But Murphy, for me, he's got to stay in the team now. He's got to be. He said, right, you've got 4 or 5 games. Go out and show us what you can do and earn your new contract. Because I think if we do go down, then Murphy is going to play a big part in our team next season. There is no doubt about that. But we'll see. Joelinton's back again. John told me last night he wanted to nibble on his nipples until they look like razor pellets. Thing is with Jose, he's not been good at the last 2 clubs, but historically he's been rivals to those clubs, even disliked them. He likes us because of the Sir Bobby connection. I don't know, John. I mean, I know he's got a affinity with Sir Bobby. So do you think that maybe he would love to bring some success to Newcastle for Sir Bobby?
I think he probably will if he can. Like I said earlier, if he gets proper backing and get the players he needs to his project, then and he wins us a trophy, even the FA Cup would do. If he wins the FA Cup, that's a competition I love. I mentioned that the day on my player ratings. Then, you know, if he wins the FA Cup and then he works well after that, I say, okay, cool. He wants the FA Cup, he left. So, and, you know, he came on what he wanted to do, just wins the trophy. But I think he wants to manage Newcastle. I really, really do. And and I hope he does it. If his name's mentioned in the future, new owners, who knows? I think he'll do it.
Yeah, I think Jose, you know, if Newcastle made an approach for him, I don't think there'd be any doubt he'd be interested. Let's see what happens. David says, smash that like button like John smashed Joelinton in the arsehole.
Yeah.
That's an abysmal thing to say. And here, good evening to you. Terrible result for Bristol City. Again today, losing to Coventry of all people. So I don't think you were in a particularly good mood about that. Never mind, mate. It happens, you know, try being a Newcastle fan. Thomas says, John and Joelinton have been spotted having sex in the dressing room and Steve Bruce joined in.
Jesus.
That is a sight I don't even want to even think about. Joelinton says, Karl, could you be the fluffer for mine and John's session, and PD Mullock could be the clean up guy, please. Me and John want it. I've got nothing to say to that, to be honest. Layla says, John gave Joelinton dog food after the game. Really? Tom says, what would your team be for Burnley, and would you play ASM and Wilson? And if you dropped Kraft, who would you play instead of him? I would play Willock. Peter, Fernandez has got to come in for Kraft, surely, if he's fit.
Oh, yes. Or Clark. One of the two.
Yeah, well, I think Clark's in the naughty book, though. I think he's in the. I think Clark's in the naughty boy corner for his comments last week, to be honest. But
it could be, yes. I remember that. Yeah, either one of them two. Kraft is dog shit. He's absolute dog shit. And I hope that a player is out of the door in the summer, whether we stay up or not. Sorry, but he is atrocious.
Yeah,
he is absolutely atrocious. Willock, I think I'll be throwing him in the start lineup. I think Shelby, as you mentioned, he hasn't got it anymore. I just think he doesn't look bothered anymore as well by the looks of it, Shelby.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Who would you put in for Shelby, Peter?
It's got to be Joe Willock alongside Sean Longstaff.
Yep, definitely. 100%. Karl, Sean Longstaff came into the side yesterday. I think it surprised everybody when his name was on the team sheet. I've heard mixed reviews what people thought of him. I mean, I personally thought he did well. He did well for the first goal to look up really quickly and set that ball along to Joelinton, and then he had a shot in the second half which he pulled wide, sadly. But I thought he was much more lively yesterday. And I genuinely believe that Sean Longstaff should be pushed a little bit further forward.
Yeah, I agree. He was. I thought he had a relatively good game. There was only far less than a handful of players that I would say didn't have a good game, but he's done well to come back into the side after not getting much match fitness in the last 10-15 games, if any. And he did his job and John Joe Shelby's job at the end of the day. I thought he had a very good game, to be honest. And I definitely want to see him in the side more. And like I've always been a big advocate of John Joe's, but I agree. One of the lads on the fan reaction yesterday said about his legs going. I was like, I don't know about that. But then watching it back, I thought, you know what, he has like the pace of the football now is just bypassing him massively. And I agree with you, mate. I'm proud. So I'm happy to go with the likes of Willock and Sean moving forward, I think.
Yeah. It's just when, for me, what frustrates me about John Joe, and I mentioned this on my video yesterday and in the live reaction I did, is his attitude to 50-50s. It's appalling. The ball is loose, and how many times he just pulls out the 50-50s and makes it so much easier for the opposition to then win the ball, and they're on the attack rather than us winning the ball in the 50-50 and bursting forward. He doesn't put his foot. I counted about 9 50-50 opportunities yesterday with John Joe Shelby, and he won one, and it's not good enough.
So what again, that's another thing we've spoken about, and I said that's kind of changed since Rafa instilled that better disciplinary record into him, because ever since that's gone out, he's completely lost that nasty streak that he used to have. And I agree, it has affected his game, that once there's no nastiness in him whatsoever, so that just transitions into not wanting to win the ball. So it's frustrating. I don't blame Rafa, by the way.
No. But I'm of more of the opinion that what Rafa should have done is actually, help him to sort of, use that fire for the right reasons, like winning balls in 50-50. And I think Rafa tried to take it out of his game because it was the ill discipline he was showing, after tackles, stamping on people and things like that. That's the nasty side that I wanted to see gone, but not that instinct to get in and tackle, and get in and make hard tackles as well, not just, ferry around the midfield and let the game pass you by, get stuck in and win the ball. But unfortunately, it seems like the whole of his, angry side has been taken away. Whereas when you're playing in that position, you look at the likes of Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira, the real greats of that position. They all had that nastiness, and their managers didn't want to take that away. So in a way, we've lost a bit of John Joe Shelby's game because of that.
Definitely. It's like on a Sunday, mate. Like I do it. Like I've just got to 31 and I can't play with these younger kids anymore. Like I just waltz around doing fuck all. And I agree with what you've all said, because if I look at it like that, that's exactly what he's doing. He can't keep up with the game, so he's just waltzing around doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I don't think anybody can say that John Joe Shelby doesn't have talent. He's got bags of it, and I think when John Joe retires, he might look back on his career and think what could have been for him, because the talent he's got with his passing, his vision, etc., is fantastic, and I just don't think he's had the self-discipline to go as far in the game as he possibly could, which he may look back on in time. Andy says, Horsey at the Toon with those players, I'd rather guide my dad into mum. Oh my God. Andy, seriously, man. That's terrible. Corby says, when Joelinton came up to the camera after he scored, I could tell why John shut up, as he sees that every day when Joelinton is on top of him. Yeah, I did actually notice during the watch along, John, how excited you were when he scored, to be honest, because it was that,
I said
Chipper says, John, what time are you oiling up for the ASMR show? Donny, good evening to you. Leeds fan, love the show. Good to see some great positivity from you boys after a much improved performance. Better than watching TV. Thanks very much. So it's those comments that keep it going, you know what I mean, Donny? Thanks very much for that. And that's what we do it for. Stay tuned, because things are about to get spicy on here. Who have we got next? Andrew again. I'm subscribed to you all, lads. Do I win a prize? There is going to be more competitions coming on this show, as well as the one I'm doing with Sav on a Wednesday. I'm wanting to get some suggestions as to what to do with the show with Sav, with quizzes and stuff like that. Just a basic entertainment show about Newcastle United, etc. Obviously, it's football based. I'm not coming on here like Bob Monkhouse or whatever. It's not blankety blank or anything, but football related quizzes and things like that. It should be really good. So maybe you'll win a prize, Andrew, in time. Hopefully you will. Joelinton says, Chippers, he's oiling me up again, and he says he wants to give me a pit stop while... I'm not even reading that out. I'm not reading it out. That is absolutely just disgraceful. I'm sorry, but I can't read that out on camera. I mean, you can read it yourselves.
That's like a thing. You have two girls, one cup. Oh God! Oh my!
Oh, Peter!
I got conned into watching that actually.
Well, let's not even.
You ever watched One Man, One Jar? Have you, mate? Have you seen that?
No,
don't watch it.
No, and I have no intention to.
I'll tell you what I did watch last night, late at night. Me and my little lad, he's just turned 9, but he was a massive fan of the Godzilla film. So we watched Godzilla versus King Kong last night.
Any good,
very late last night. Yeah, I loved it. It was a bit different to the other Godzilla fans, because he's a massive Godzilla fan, and Godzilla wasn't, in it as much as Kong was, because it was more about Kong and where his home was and stuff like that. And everybody ended up friends, as it, you'd probably expect, but it was a good film. I enjoyed it. Certainly better than them bloody things you've just mentioned.
I don't know.
Actually, to be honest, Karl, I mean, you have to be careful, because I think you'll be getting Pornhub ringing you up asking you to star in the next Dutch Rudder film.
Oh, dear,
it'll be called Dutch Rudder in Venice, or something like something Dutch Rudder behind my fridge. Layla says the way Tottenham played was disgusting. Did you hear what he said after the game? The players aren't good enough. I didn't personally hear what Jose had to say. I don't tend to watch, because I'm doing my live reaction straight after, so I don't tend to see the managers. I mean, John, I don't know whether you've heard what Jose had to say. Was it derogatory towards his players?
Well, you know what Jose is like, just tells us straight, doesn't he? He said he wasn't good enough. And, but the Spurs weren't that great yesterday, and I could see why Jose got a bit angry at the end of the day. But according to Day, that the Spurs players aren't happy with his comments. And when the players are that unhappy what he said, then it's not looking good for Jose.
No, I can't see him staying past the end of the season, to be honest. I really can't.
I can't see it.
I don't think his management is suited to Tottenham, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see. Thomas says, Karl, I see you have a channel. Do you do something with Pokemons?
My actual channel, that's just something I tried out with the cameras and stuff, mate. Yeah. But my actual channel is a different one called 4th and Inches. It's all NFL related stuff. But yeah, I just post NFL stuff, mate.
4+ inches, did you say that?
4th and Inches.
All right.
But yeah, the channel he's talking about with the Pokemon stuff, that's just me testing out videos and things like that.
Yeah. Cool. Paul Hennessy says, Longstaff looks unfit, Peter.
Well,
I mean, he's not going to be up to full fitness, is he?
No,
I mean,
he's not
out left, right, and centre.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I think it's about time he gets a chance now.
Right. You agree?
Games. He needs games.
He does need games.
You know what? I mean, we know there's a player in there. We've seen it. But I think since he got that injury, I think that's very much affected his game. It's been in his head. And it's we've seen this in the past with a lot of players where they get really nasty injuries and it affects their kind of mental stability on the pitch. They're more worried about getting that serious injury again. And I think it's happened to Sean. Which is why I said during the transfer window, I thought he should have gone out on loan to Championship and got his full fitness back, got his game back, and then came back next season, the midfielder that we know he is, and why the likes of Manchester United were chasing him. But we'll see how he does in the summer and come back next season. But obviously, it depends what league we're going to be in. Jimmy Mack says, Joelinton has been, oh, dear God.
Oh, fucking hell, I only just read that.
Oh, my God.
Oh my.
Oh, dear. Never mind. I'm not reading it out, but, you've seen it. Joelinton said, John made me put a cream egg in his arse and fire it in his mouth out of my arse for Easter. Oh. Andrew says, wow. I do like Leeds United fans. I must say, I was worked down the Yorkshire Dales a few years back. Love the place. Yeah, there's a lot of Leeds fans follow this channel. To be honest, they're good guys. I know quite a lot of Leeds fans, to be honest, and they're all good guys. It's a good club, and you won't ever find me slagging Leeds United off because if anyone deserves a bit of success after what they've been through, it's them. But the supporters are always, when I've been down there for away games, they've been fantastic. I meet up with quite a few of them before the match, and it's all good banter. So they're a good bunch, and I've got a lot of affinity for Leeds United. Andrew says, evening, Tom. Paul says, Matt Ritchie needs to start for me as well at Burnley, 100%. I think he's got to stay in now. No doubt about it. But the question is, Karl, would you, if all centre-backs are fit, would you keep Ritchie where he is and would you drop Dummett, or would you, because obviously the main three centre-backs we have are obviously Fernandez, Clark and Lascelles. So, now I know obviously Shah's injured for the rest of the season, but they are our main three. So do you drop Dummett?
It's a difficult one because I want the experience of both of them, to be honest. We want that fight from Ritchie that I think passes on to the likes of Dummett, who is good defensively. He's not as mobile getting forward. It's a really difficult question, to be fair. I mean, I'd even drop Krath and maybe move Dummett on the other side and then keep Ritchie. But then again, it's tough, isn't it? Because Fernandez needs to come back into the fold as well. So. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that question at all. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, realistically, I mean, if I'm being honest, I think if we're going to try and attack a bit more, then Ritchie needs to play instead of Dummett. If we're going to go along with, if we're going to go with Fernandez, Clark, and Lascelles as the main three central defenders, then I think unfortunately Dummett has to come out the side when we need to go on the attack because Ritchie offers us more going forward. But having said that, it wasn't a few weeks ago that I was praising Dummett for his crossing.
True.
So that part of his game improved. So it's very, very difficult, but I think it's a nice one to have for once instead of just throwing square pegs in round holes all the time, trying to fill gaps on the pitch where we've actually got players are now fit who can do a job in them positions. I mean, don't get us wrong, we've had players fit all season that can play in them positions, but that's just the way it is. Layla says, look at Loftus-Cheek, played against Villa, quality in midfield, dribbling, driving from midfield. We don't have that. we could have that if Longstaff gets his game back. I genuinely believe that. And if Joe Willock stays beyond this season, I think we have a young player there who we can nurture well. Do I think he can be nurtured under Steve Bruce? No, I don't. But, Jamal Lewis has fallen away under Steve Bruce. That kid's lost all his confidence. Ken says, Paul, please leave my limp penis out of things. Okay. John Bruce said, I hope Steve Bruce now has a word with Joelinton and tell him that he is the standard. That is the standard that we want from now on. Unfortunately, I think we've seen the best of him in one game yesterday. John, what do you reckon?
Well, he's got to tell him as well that he's got to score in every single game as well. But listen, like I said, George had a good game yesterday, I thought. And Steve Bruce, well, what can I say about it? When you pick the tactics off, I think, wow, he messed up again, sort of thing. But listen, what he said to Joe, he obviously gave him confidence and he's starting to score the goals. Let's hope he gets some more and more.
Yeah, hopefully so. Oh, God, he's chipped us again. Joelinton stuck his head of Joelinton's back doors and said, "Here's Joey." Kenneth says, Steve Bruce, in my opinion, won't be manager next season, especially if 52,000 people are in the stadium. I don't think we'll fill the stadium next season, to be honest, if the current ownership is still there. I think we may, if we go down, I think we'll be lucky to hit 40,000. I genuinely believe that, but I think it'll be around about 30 or 39,000 that we would average probably in the Championship under Mike Ashley's reign. But I genuinely think a takeover has to happen for any hope to get back to this club, because it's rotten away. I mean, I've heard people messaging me and putting on Twitter as well that the state of the ground is absolutely shambolic at the minute. It's all fenced off. There's moss growing up the walls. It just looks like it's ready for. I'm not sure whether somebody said it to you, Karl, on the phone, or whether it was somebody else I was watching. Just said it was just falling apart, and it looked like it was ready for demolition, which is terrible. Yeah. So things have got to change at that club. It needs somebody who cares. Joelinton says, if I fell out of the sky naked, the only place I would land is on top of John. Some of you guys have a real sick sense of humour, you do. Andrew said, I would love the Toon to win the FA Cup in my lifetime. Will it happen? Peter, will it happen?
I don't think it would happen under this current ownership. I can tell you that. Yes, we've got a quarterfinals, but we'll seem to chuck in the towel when it comes to them. I think it'll probably be under a new ownership if we're going to win an FA Cup or any trophy, any domestic trophy in particular.
I mean, I genuinely thought I would see it in my lifetime when we went to the old Wembley, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. I think if we took I think in previous years, had we took the competition a bit more seriously, we could have had an opportunity to win it. We've seen the likes of Millwall and Cardiff and etc. get to the final. When it's been one of those freak seasons when the big teams have all been knocked out. It's just a shame that we haven't taken it seriously over the years. I'm not reading that again, Chippers. You can get lost. Thomas says, John and Joelinton found a big sausage on the motorway. It's the size of John's head. Archer says, Tinky Winky takes Steve Bruce on the Jeremy Kyle show, and DNA shows that Steve Bruce, his real name is Tinky Winky Father. Where does he think of these things? Honestly. Trainson said, I'd have Gladys the tea lady in ahead of Kraft. I think anybody could do a job instead of Kraft, to be honest. Chris Baldwin, good evening. Unless Newcastle are going to lash 200 million out on the transfer budget under Ashley, then it's pissing in the wind going on about Mourinho. I think that's the thing, really, isn't it? I mean, if Mourinho's going to want finances, if he's going to come to Newcastle, he's going to want to see it as a project, a club that he wants to build, and make Sir Bobby proud. That's the only reason he's going to come, is, he'll have Sir Bobby in his mind, knowing that he has this opportunity to make Sir Bobby proud and actually bring Newcastle back up from the ashes, so to speak, Karl. And it's not going to happen under Ashley, is it?
No, like the idea of it, like, it's quite a romantic thing, isn't it? But I agree, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with Mike Ashley there. Absolutely not. One, he's not a yes man, Jose Mourinho, and two, he's going to want money, like Chris has just said there. So, I wouldn't be totally against it, and I appreciate why you're not so sure, mate, because I know, the football, in all honesty, is quite similar to what Steve Bruce is, negative football. But I do think it would be different if there was a decent owner at the club who want to back him and give him the money. And I love the idea of it, but yeah, let's be honest, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, I think we can just wave goodbye to that. Chipper says John uses a lamb shank as a dildo called Joelinton. Keith says Bruce won't drop Shelvey. No, he won't. I think Bruce. Shelvey's one of these guys that's sort of teacher's favourite, really. You used to get in school, you knew who the teacher's pets were, and unfortunately, I think, for Newcastle, that Shelvey is that person. Joelinton says, Paul, tell John, when me and John are getting frisky, it's not nice to poo when mine...
Oh, fucking
oh, God.
Seriously? Oh, my God. Oh my God! Andrew says Hendrick or whatever his bloody name is has to go in the summer. Just like just one word, shocking. Yeah, Shelvey. I mean, Hendrick's got to go. Hendrick isn't. I'm not even counting Hendrick in any of my teams now towards the end of the season. I think if we play Jeff Hendrick, we've got 10 men on the pitch. Joelinton starting to just improve a little bit to the point where I can say we've got 10.5 men on the pitch, but if we had Hendrick, my God, that's it. Ryan, good evening. What's the similarity with John and Joelinton? Steve Bruce's penis. Wow. Kendo, good evening to you. It was good to see 2 strikers up front rather than just one. Neither are good enough to lead the line alone, and actually getting men in the box with decent service attacking win backs. It was. And John, I think, we spoke about this in the second half on the watch along, how good it was to actually see us having players up top rather than just punting the ball into the middle of nowhere for nobody to run onto. We had players up front who were willing to do that running and get on the end of the long balls.
Yeah, I mean, look, we like I said yesterday, we gave it a right go, and players seem to be enjoying it, and they really want to fight for this club as well, if you see what I mean. Some players want to do it anyway. I thought he worked hard second half. First half is very quiet. I thought Jake Murphy was outstanding. I thought Sean Longstaff, apart from that misplaced pass, I thought he did okay. Look, listen, all we're asking for, Paul, is effort, desire, passion, work rate. That's what we want at the club. That's all we're asking for. And if you give us that, deliver that, even if we get beat, and we give it a go and try, then we can turn each other and just say, look, they had the right go. We didn't win, but we had the right go at it, sort of thing. Just lose as a base for the next game. But you said earlier on about Jake Murphy. He has to play in every game now because he's the only one who can cross a decent bar. Do you know what I mean? But Sean Longstaff, he needs games. He has to be playing games a lot, but he needs more games, and hopefully his fitness will come through.
I mean, with the Longstaffs, especially, you're throwing. I mean, he's done this with Matty as well earlier in the season when he just came out of nowhere and threw him in against Man City. We have to take these guys just getting thrown in. It's like they're coming back from injury. They're not going to be Premier League match fit because they haven't played in the Premier League. Yes, they'll be fit because they train every day, but they're not going to be up to Premier League match fitness because they've been left in the wilderness for weeks on end, and then they just expect to come back and be up to speed. You have to understand that fitness is a big thing, especially now. When games have been coming thick and fast, but for the likes of Sean Longstaff to be left out for so long and then just thrown in, you've got to get your Premier League match fitness there. It's the competitive fitness. Any sportsman will tell you that it's all right doing training, but when it comes to the competitive side, it's a different animal. And while we're on the subject of Miggy Almiron, okay, I have had, and this is no joke, right? John, you'll remember this last night when I sort of put a message into Barry's show about him calling him Midgie. Yeah. Right? I have had over 36 DMs today asking me to tell Barry on this show, but obviously he's not on, to tell him to stop calling him Midgie because it's doing people's heads in. He's known as Miggy, and I know Barry likes to call him Midgie because, he likes to associate a Midgie with him, like buzzing around everywhere. And I can understand that. It's a good point, actually, because that's exactly what he does. But so many people have messages today saying, on the show tonight, tell him to stop calling him Midgie. So, Barry, when you watch the rerun of this, mate, I've said my piece on it. I know why you call him Midgie because of that buzzing around on all that, and that's fair enough. But stop. Anyway, back onto the messages. We've got Lewis. What's the difference between a dead dog in the road, and a dead NUFC fan? Answer: skid marks.
Oh, God.
Dear me. Tom says, how much would it be if we considered buying Joe Willock? I'm not so sure how much Arsenal would. I would say probably, I'd say between 10 and 15. I wouldn't say, I think that would be, I don't know about you guys, whether it'd be less than 10 mil. I can't see Arsenal letting them go for less than 10.
No, I think like you said, I think it's going to be close to 15, to be fair. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him permanently. I would. I
mean, we've had a lot of. The thing is with Joe Willock, he had a great start, scored against Southampton, etc., and then he went a bit quiet. But then again, the whole team has. We need to remember that it's not just individual; the whole team disappeared. And poor Joe Willock's walked into a bloody war zone, hasn't he? When you think about it, he's walking into a dressing room that is just. I mean, I don't believe that the dressing room is all angels and loveliness at the minute, like Steve Bruce likes to say it is. There is unrest in that dressing room, clearly. And Joe Willock's like it's like he's walked out of his bathroom and he's walked straight into Baghdad, and it's terrifying for a young kid, especially to be around that kind of atmosphere. Andrew said I would get shot to Shelvey in the summer. Completely agree, Andrew. I think a lot of us are agreed on that. Now, that's not to say John Joe can't still do a job for somebody, but I don't think it's in the Premier League. If we get relegated. If we get relegated into the Championship, would I still want John Joe Shelvey? No, because I think his attitude. But I think if he went to a different club, new start, maybe he could just expand his career a little bit more. Train Sons, of course, the Mourinho talk is takeover dependent. Yeah. Evening Kendo, says Andrew. Layla says John and Joelinton were found kissing in Aldi. Then the security said, "Get out, that's not acceptable." No, John and Joelinton said, "It's our mouth and we can kiss oh my God, we can kiss how fast and how hard we want." I think is the significant line there. Dear God.
Oh, man.
David, Northumbria police was spotted at Blaze Park today as people are bringing their Brazilian sausages around. One arrested, called Joelinton, but the company can't find the other one. John, you've escaped. Kendo says Murphy was getting cramp and Longstaff looked shattered once again. You wonder about the training and the facilities. Well, we've discussed this before with the facilities and the training methods of Steve Bruce. We all don't agree with them. No. But I've already explained, and I think we all agree on why Longstaff looks shattered. It's plain and simple. You have to get up to Premier League speed. And the way Bruce has treated the Longstaffs in and out, in for one game, out for like 9 or 10, and then thrown back in, you're going to lose that edge. I actually had a go at Steve Bruce for bringing Murphy off yesterday. I had a go with it, but I didn't realize Murphy was struggling with cramp. So I'll actually apologize to Steve Bruce for that. I got the, I got all the fanboys coming out on Twitter hammering me for that, saying, "Oh, what do you have a go at him for? He had cramp." I didn't see it. I must have been talking to John on camera and I didn't see the cramp. I just saw him going off. Big deal, it's not the end of the world, My God, Paul didn't get something right. Shit the bed. Anyway, Kendo says evening all. Thomas says, Karl, how's the Dutch rudder?
Yeah, it's been eventful, mate. I've had 4 days off to practice.
Quality answer. Ginger says, Paul, tell me what John Joe Shelvey has done since we came back up. Nothing. He's a plaque on this team and he gets 70K a week for it. Yeah, I mean, we're all agreed on John Joe now. We think the time is that, he has come to the end. But like a previous comment said, this is Steve Bruce we're talking about. He does have his favourites. He will always have his favourites. And unfortunately, John Joe is one of them. Joelinton's back again. John took me for a walk through Blythe on a lead, and I was dressed in bondage with slap marks on my bum. Gary, good evening, mate. Good evening, guys. About Joelinton, what did you think of him in yesterday's game? Also, do you think that Bruce has been talking to Graham Jones for advice and tactics? I think maybe that Jones is having a bit more of an input. Do I think he's having the kind of input that he had when he first came in? Definitely not. We were all really happy with Joelinton's performance yesterday. We're really chuffed with it, but it's about consistency now. He's shown that he can do it, so there's no reason he can't go to Burnley. Burnley is a different kettle of fish because Burnley play the rough stuff. They like to get stuck into you. They like to manhandle you and stuff like that, which obviously John likes from Joelinton from time to time. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to have to expect is a proper war zone down there, Peter.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, massively, and hopefully Joelinton can step up now. We'll want to see it, and maybe he could justify his price tag then.
Yeah,
but
Sean Dyche is not going to be happy with Burnley yesterday giving away a 2-goal lead, is he? So
no.
You're guaranteed that Sean Dyche is going to have them fired up when they come out on. Is it Sunday we play them? I think. He's going to have them totally fired up, isn't he?
Oh, he will do.
Thanks for that quick answer, Peter. That's awesome. Are you awake, Peter?
Yeah.
For God's sake. Anyway, Chris Baldwin, the takeover is pure fantasy. It won't happen, especially if Newcastle go down. That's your opinion. I just hope that something's still going on in the background, to be honest. Evan, good evening. Shelvey is still an important player for us, nevertheless. I don't think he is anymore. I don't want to sound too downbeat and don't want to bash up Shelvey on this, but I don't think he's as important as some people think. Because if Willock stepped in for Shelvey, I would be more happy with our midfield, Karl.
Yeah, like we've spoken about it, 15 minutes. I absolutely adored the bloke. He's just not the player he was. He's just not the player he was, and we said he played a great ball through to Dwight Gale yesterday, but he did nothing else. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough. And when he does have a good game, it's similar to, let's be honest, it's similar to Joelinton. It's 1 in 10, 1 in 15. Like, he has maybe 6 good games a season, but he's coming to fire this season, and rightly so. So, I hate saying it, but I don't think I also do not think is that important of a player as we expect him to be.
Yeah. Luke says, Rob Lee says Mike Ashley will sack Steve Bruce next season. Chipper says, John came in Joelinton and said, Bisto, all Brazilian boys love gravy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I think Evan wants to push this point through about Shelvey is still an important player, nevertheless, in capitals this time. So he's screaming that at us through the beauty of technology. So thanks for that, Evan.
I hope it comes good, Evan. I hope it comes good.
Yeah, definitely. Tom says, John says to Joelinton, will you shut your window when you're making love to your wife? The whole street were listening and laughing to the noises you were making last night. Interesting. Joelinton says, John, stop pushing my head so far down. Luke says, John Joe Shelvey's best years were at Swansea.
It's probably it's you can argue a case for it, definitely.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that as well. Here comes Mr. Archer. He no, Mr. Bruce. Hell no, diddly dong. Hell no, Mr. Vane. Bruce looks like E.T. in a blanket. An alien with balls. Hell no, milky nipples. I'm Mr. Bruce. I'm never wrong. I'm 27 inches long. Grow higher than me. Pubes. I suggest you get help, my man. And stop hanging around with chippers for a start. David says, no, we've already had that one. Ginger said Liverpool dumped him, then Swansea dumped him. He's not a top player. He's just a shadow who hangs around for a wage. Well, that's what I think he's doing at the minute. I've always said I think there's a player in there, but we just don't see it. He's one of the Hollywood players that we can't afford to have at the minute, to be fair. John Bruce says Shelvey has never been the same since that bad injury. He's one of them again that, he got a bad injury and injured he gets. West Ham are 2-0 up now, apparently.
3-0 actually.
It's 3-0 now. Okay.
3-0.
I'm behind with the comments here. Joelinton said John had piles last night, so I done the right thing and ate all of them with some pasta and gravy. Honestly, man. Joelinton and John in one cup.
Oh no!
No. Train son, apparently the dangerous right winger, someone connected to Newcastle, was tapping up. Can't now come in as he is tied to a long-term contract with Wormwood Scrubs. Fair enough. Yes, it is a good film. That yes,
good. My missus's uncle or cousin wrote that film. To be fair,
did he?
yeah, I only found out about 3 months ago, but he wrote it. Rory Haynes, his name is.
Wow,
Yeah, he wrote that film. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've actually heard that name a few times.
He's doing a new Marvel film as well.
Small word, yeah, small world.
Mm.
Ryan Sweeney says Dutch Rudder 6, The Reckoning. That's a good name for the film. That The Reckoning. Chip, as John said to Joelinton, thanks for my Easter egg. Joelinton said that was no chocolate either. Flipping Nora. Andrew said, Andy, are you Barry's mate, the lad who lives on wind turbines? Yeah, I've seen this on Barry's channel. I don't know whether anybody else has noticed. He puts these 8-second clips of somebody up a bloody wind turbine.
Yeah,
I was worried. What was it all about?
I mean,
that's what I was wondering.
You know what it is? I mean, if you're going to relax to a video like that, you kind of like, by the time you've sat down and put it on, it's finished.
Well,
so,
I thought he was some kind of wind turbine engineer, and he was just posting where he was for the day or something like that. I didn't understand what was going on.
I think he must be, because he's up on the top of the wind turbine sometimes, and it's a hell of a view, and it's I think he puts them on for tranquil purposes, but they only last 6-7 seconds. It's like
that's the thing.
It's bizarre. I've just seen that the other day. I'm thinking, what? I didn't actually think it was Barry's channel at the time when I was, just scrolling through YouTube, and then I saw wind turbines, and then I saw Bassett's NUFC, and I thought, has somebody hacked into his account and sticking bloody wind turbine videos on there? Crazy. Luke says, for free agents being linked with Newcastle for season 1, play for Sheffield United, one place for West Brom, and the other two, Andrew Townsend. Well, I think he meant Andros there, and Jethro Williams. I've seen that those two are linked to us next season. I'm a big Jethro fan, John, but I'm not sure about Andros Townsend coming back.
I have to agree. I'm not. Look, Andros Townsend had his chance in Newcastle, and he just went as soon as he get relegated. So I wouldn't have him back. Jethro Williams, if he's match fit, need to do what do you call it? Like a medical, obviously go do a medical, staunchly sort of thing, like, if you know what I mean. But because he's got to add that injury, didn't he, sort of thing. So they got to do it for that sort of thing. If it takes a couple of days to do it, do it. But would I take him back? Of course I will. He can ensure that Jamal Lewis as well, how to defend properly, when to go forward, when not to go forward as well. But that Karl Barkley from West Brom, I'd take him as well. He's a decent centre back as well, I think. He's a big, strong lad. So, take him as well.
Fair enough. Trinson says we need Dummett's pace at the back. Maybe so. Ginger says, what's the point? Once Wilson is back with ASM, they're going back to 4-3-3. I think they will do that anyway, because Bruce seems to think that that's the tactic that suits having them players, which is shocking. Jimmy Mack says, oh, God, Wraith was down the big market toilets, sucking Joelinton sausage. I'm not even reading it.
Oh, my God.
What is this show coming to? Seriously, man. Honestly. Evening, Stephen. Was glad to see Richie back in the team yesterday. Definitely. We all were. Joelinton says, John serviced my back end like a car, but the difference is that my back end came out more broken when it went in.
Oh, God.
Kobe says, if Steve Bruce is behind you and Joelinton is in front of you, John, would you go forward or back? Oh, dear. Andrew, I tend to agree with you. Yes, but he needs to be better. Keeping it 2 says, twinkle, little star. Well. You what?
He needs to stay fit as well, ASM.
Yeah, he does, but I think we need to see a bit more from him.
That's the thing, yeah.
I mean, just basically play. I don't want to see him do too much. He tries to do too much rather than link play up. I want to see him link a bit better. Keeping it 2 says, twinkle, twinkle, little star. John and Joelinton bent over his car. Paul says, John's very quiet tonight. Ken says Kane's first goal was hideous defending and far too much space and time for his second. You can't give him room like that, Karl, can you? You know, for his second goal.
Definitely not. It was a great finish from him. I think it was Dummett probably got caught ball watching. But even Lascelles and Kraft as well, they just let I can't remember who was in behind them just to give him space. But yeah, you can't give him that. You know, it was a great finish from him from not a very difficult angle. I'd put my house on him scoring from there.
Yeah. Ginger says, question, Paul, do you truly believe there is any kind of takeover? No new owner is willing to let Bruce stay in that job whilst they're trying to buy the club. They would demand his removal. I'm not sure the demand is removal. I think Mike Ashley's playing things quite clever on one side of it. I think if he knows that there's a chance of the takeover going through, he's not going to sack Bruce and waste all his money. He's going to wait for the new owners to come in and waste their money by sacking Bruce. If I was a businessman like that, I would probably do it that way. I wouldn't want to waste $4 million sacking somebody when I know I'm not going to be at the club. So if the new owners come in, then Mike Ashley's probably of the opinion saying, right, fair enough, I'll keep Bruce on. It's one last kick in the ball from me to the Newcastle fans, and I'll let the new owners deal with him. That's the kind of man I think Mike Ashley is anyway. Layla said, maybe Joelinton has taken John's dog and the dog has given Joelinton some inspiration. Oh, yes, the dog from last week. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Luke says Karl looks like the guy who did the voice for Smeagol, Lord of the Rings.
I've had that a few times, you know. People have said that a few times. I had to Google who they meant.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings, so I've got no idea. It's not my type of film, to be honest, but there you go. Joelinton says, where is the ginger snap at?
I think he means Barry.
Oh, Barry, yes, with his haircut, yeah. Gary says, also, guys, why haven't NUFC not gone for a female manager instead of going for men, which to me, it's really sexist. I'll tell you what, I mean, there's been a lot said about this Chelsea women's manager. You know, if you guys watched, I don't know whether it was this weekend, but Chelsea were on TV, and obviously with no fans being in the ground, by God, she's vocal. I tell you what, she knows her stuff as well. And she has been linked with Football League jobs. So I think it's only time will tell. I mean, you know, we had a female referee in the EFL today at Harrogate for the first time. So, you know, I mean, I'm personally not against females refereeing or being lines women or whatever we call them, assistant referees. I've got no problem with that at all. Women playing in the men's game is different because of the physicalities of it. I think that I don't think they could do that, but I'm open to, you know, women being referees and things like that. And by all accounts, she did a very good job at Harrogate today. You know, there was a penalty incident in the first half, which I believe she didn't give the penalty, and you know, it was a brave decision to do that. So she's from up here as well. So good luck to her. John Bruce said this channel should now be X-rated, but it's good to have a laugh. Hey, it's not me, John. You know, I'm just, you know, people are coming in with these comments, but you know what? You need a laugh. And this channel, if this channel gives people a laugh, then fair enough. This is the only show that I actually accept this stuff on, though. Let's be fair. The other shows, I will not have this kind of chat, put it that way.
There is no Newcastle channel that has this kind of show. Definitely not.
I'm sure there's not.
Love it.
There isn't. This Monday night show is the one and only where you get this kind of stuff.
Definitely.
But we do it to make people laugh, and that's what it's all about. We don't mean offense to anybody. It's all about having a laugh and a good time, and that's what it's here for. That's why I sort of made the Four Horsemen channel in the first place, just to, you know, have a bit of football crack, a bit of laugh, and that's what we want. But pleased you're enjoying it, John. Chris said won't win an egg cup while Ashley is there. Thoughts on self-obsessed god of NUFC? I will be coming on to that in around 5 minutes, so I will have me say, because I've kept quiet for too long now. Right. Shipper says Joelinton is sending John nudes. Yeah, everybody's complaining because you seem to be staring at your phone more than taking part in the show, John. And everybody thinks it's because you've got nude Joelinton photos on your phone and you're just looking and saying, "Oh, look at them thighs." Am I right, John? Am I right? Is it thighs?
Brazilian, that sort of thing. Like, what's her name? Is it Giselle someone? She's Brazilian. Giselle.
What the hell was that? Karl, are you playing guitar in the background?
Oh, just not my microphone. Sorry. Sorry.
I thought I've just burst my eardrums there.
Sorry, mate.
If you notice, mate, there's only me got a headset on apart from you. So, right in my earlugs that was.
Sorry, chap.
Tom says, I said that yesterday, Paul, on your show about the stadium being a complete mess. Yes, you did. That's where I got it from. Cheers, Tom. I mean, I've had it. I want to maybe take my little lad out during the Easter holidays and have a ride up to Newcastle just to walk around and see what it's like. Take a few photos and that. So if I can get close, because apparently you can't even get that close because there's it's like a building site. Crazy. Who's worse, Boris Johnson or Steve Bruce? John, I'll let you go for that one.
Oh God, man. That's a very good question. I'll be stumped in a minute, you know what I mean? But Boris should have never been Prime Minister, and Steve Bruce was manager I've seen. I've got to go with Steve Bruce.
Yeah. Paul says, thoughts on James Pallett eyeing a takeover. This is the guy who had Roma, isn't it? He's been big in Newcastle a lot up, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, I heard about that, but apparently I've heard a lot of fans are saying no. I think he's not where
about him.
Yeah, well, and apparently he's nowhere near what Mike Ashley is in terms of his wealth. So, yeah, that's the thing. Could it be happened to another Sunderland when they went from a billionaire in Ellis Short to not a billionaire into Stuart Donald?
Yeah. This is an interesting one, Thomas. From Thomas. Karl, you remind me of one of the brothers on The Young Offenders.
I haven't seen The Young Offenders. What's Young Offenders?
I haven't seen it either. I'm not sure what he means. It sounds like some kind of prison show. So
less said about that, the better then, Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had that plenty of time, by the way. Skinhead and the tattoos and that, I used to get, you look like a bouncer. That's all I used to get. Oh, you look like a bouncer. No, I've never done it in my life. Thank you. Paul says, evening, gents. See, there's a few on here, Paul, that are either 14 years old or complete idiots. Interesting. Kendall says, this is the best stream on YouTube. Thank you very much, Kendall. It's gone out of control tonight, and I really have no control. Now my mouse is broken. Oh, it's back. It's alive. Chip says, John said to Joelinton, get to the chopper, so he whipped his pants off and rode into the Oh, Chippers, man, that's your best one so far. That's brilliant. Absolutely superb.
Chippers, you lucky I didn't have a drink there. Oh my God, I would have.
The classic Arnie line. Get to the chopper. So he whipped his. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Just how do you think it snapped in half, says Joelinton?
Oh God.
Tom says John and Joelinton sitting on North Shields fish key eating blobfish. I knew blobfish would come into it sooner or later. John says Miggy should have been man of the match. He was all over the place. I said I don't think he should have been man of the match, and I'm not being hard on Miggy. Yes, he does a lot of running around, but I want to see him at the right end of the pitch where he's supposed to be, scoring goals. It's all right saying, he cleared one off the line, he was back defending, for me, I have to see more from Miggy at the right end of the pitch. Scoring goals, creating chances. That's where I want Miggy to be. And it frustrates me sometimes when he's back defending and then we break out and he's not there because he's back in the defence. We've got defenders to do that job. So let Miggy go. I mean, Karl, I don't know whether you agree with it, but I just want him at the right. I want him at the far end of the pitch where he can do the most damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want him having to be running around everywhere all the time. I want him to be running at goal and in and around the box. That's where I want him, 100%. I agree.
Paul, do you mind if I just interrupt? Because I've had a message off Twitter from Paul G.
Yeah.
Apparently that's for you, John.
Oh, yes. I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah, he sent me that as well. And I meant to put it on the show tonight, but I wanted to do some work with it and put maybe John's head behind him with a big smile on his face. Or trying to get Joelinton's arm more in and putting a tattoo with John on Joelinton's arm. Because I thought that would be brilliant.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yay.
Luke says Matty Longstaff only signed a 2-year contract. I think he'd be off when that ends if this keeps going. He's not going to want to stay. I'm always fit in John's eyes, says Joelinton. David Foster says Joelinton is a much better player when he doesn't have the pressure of being a still. I think he means being on his own and kind of thing. I think that's what he kind of means by that. Ken says Shearer says Joelinton has now set himself a bar and need now to keep it up. Do you think he will, lads? I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know what you lads think, but I can't answer that. I really can't, because we haven't seen Joelinton be consistent yet. And this is the big thing for Joelinton now coming up these next few games. If he's in the side, now whether Steve Bruce's eyes have been opened yesterday to say, right, he plays better with someone alongside him. Let's, when Callum Wilson's fit, let's play them two up front and see how they can do together. Work on that in training, the brief training that this team actually does, work on it and see if that comes to fruition. But until we see that, I can't answer that question. I don't think the lads can, because we haven't seen him play.
No, I haven't.
Games in a row. But we hope we do, Ken, to be honest. I really hope we do. Yeah. Paul says, what the fuck was Kraft and Paul Dummett doing for both Kane's goals? Yeah, I mean, Dummett got sucked in, and I really, I think Dummett will be kicking himself for that, because he's normally sound on the mark and kind of thing. But as for Emil Kraft, we've already said what we think of that. I mean,
he is garbage. Been at the end of the season.
Yeah, I just don't know why. He saw Dubravka coming for the ball. Whether he shouted for it or not, it doesn't matter. The direction the Kraft was running at, he would have seen Dubravka coming out. But it doesn't matter. If he got the ball first, you just clear it.
Absolutely. He's got to put his boot through
what he was trying to do, he was trying to control it or what, and he just lost it. And honestly, absolutely pathetic defending. Train Son says, watching this, Fulham will beat Wolves. They're on the beach already. Yeah, Wolves aren't really at it at the minute.
No, it's 3-1. It's half-time and it's 3-1 to West Ham.
And people say that West Ham, this is the thing. A lot of people last night getting too carried away thinking, we'll beat Burnley and we'll beat West Ham. What right do we have to say that we can beat West Ham? Because West Ham have had a fantastic season. Polar opposites of seasons. From us beating them on the opening day, we've gone one way and they've gone up. I mean, I would never have thought West Ham were going to have the season they have had after we beat them, because they look dreadful. And they had a lot of problems behind the scenes. But credit to David Moyes, Mike. He's picked them up and he's doing what he did with Everton. He's doing exactly with West Ham what he did for Everton. And I think it's fantastic for him and good on him, because I think he's proven after the Man United, Sunderland debacles. And, Sunderland, there's no money at Sunderland. There was nothing he could do.
No, that was the thing.
But West Ham, he's been given an opportunity now. They were struggling a little bit early doors when he came back again for a second spell. But now I think they're realising, and I think a lot of people are realising, that given time, Moyes will get it right with a bit of money and a bit of patience. And I think he's doing exactly what he's doing with Everton, and West Ham could be in Europe next season. So when they play us, they're still fighting for Europe. And I think they're a better team than us, miles ahead of us at the minute. So to say we're going to beat West Ham is crazy. But hey ho, I like the positivity. Ken says, I've heard Joelinton say that John is getting very rough after a game, as he's going in very dry, even using talc to make sure. But then John shows his caring side and rims Joelinton. I can't do this. I can't do this show anymore. I'm retiring. Flaming hell, man. Brian says 20 million. I think he means for Willock. I think it's going to be between 15 and 20, definitely. David says Joelinton is a much better player when he isn't a solo striker. Him and Wilson up front could be a real threat. We've just said that. Joe Willock is valued at 20 million by Arsenal. Tom says Joelinton says to John, I'm getting circumcised tomorrow. Joelinton says, I had that done once when I was a few days old. John asks, does it hurt? Joelinton says, well, I couldn't walk for about a year. This has gone mental. Layla says, Peter, can I get a wave? It's your biggest fan, Pete. Yay! There you go, Layla. That's that night. Well done. Did anybody else see that Instagram account that popped up of PD?
No.
Well, he's been given this name called PD Morelock because people think he's the mole. PD Morelock appeared dressed in a police outfit on Instagram.
Oh God, yes, that's
his own account. Now I don't know where that came from. I mean, everybody was saying that it was one of the Horsemen who'd set it up, but we have our own jokes behind the scenes, but we wouldn't set up accounts like that. It's bizarre. It was absolutely hilarious.
Paul, do you mind if I say another thing? Because Paul Jay's just sent me another thing. He's managed to take possibly a screenshot of John with a quote underneath it, which I'm going to throw up now.
What is it? I wonder where my honey Joelinton is. Oh, God. That's brilliant. Absolutely superb. Oh, dear. See, there's even some goes on behind the scenes on this show that even I don't know about. Andy says, Paul, have you not heard how Barry pronounces Mancure? I've never noticed that, to be honest. I think he doesn't. He's never going to be a commentator, is he? Bless him. Matthew says, did you hear about that foreign Nigeria link this summer? He's called I've Had a Crap. David, good evening, mate. Good evening, guys. Thought the team attitude was much better yesterday. Certainly was, and that's what I was really impressed with. The fact that we didn't fold when we went behind. Matthew says, Emil Crap is a pile of talk that he needs to be gone out of this team ASAP.
100%.
Chippers. John said to Joelinton, pass me the mayo for my chips, so Joelinton whipped his pants off and gave him some.
Oh, God.
Just sick, Chippers. Smash the like button like Willett did the crossbar. Thanks very much. Yeah, if you're enjoying the show, guys, please do hit the like button because it does help grow the channel. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, despite all the hideous comments that have come in from some really dirty minds out there, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Not all the shows are like this, I can guarantee you 100%. This is the only show on a Monday night where you will find comments and crack like this. I can tell you that now.
Yep.
But please do consider subscribing. All the other guys' links to their channels are in the description below, including Barry's as well. So give a subscription to all of them. Joelinton says, when John says I'm going to the bank to make a deposit, that really means the deposit is going to the... Oh! Come on! Jesus! Taylor says, what's going on with the Wolves this season? 15th. Help me, lads. I'm very sad. I don't know. It's certainly not a position I would have expected Wolves to be in, to be honest. At one stage, we all thought that they might get dragged into the relegation battle. I mean, that's not obviously going to happen, but
no.
I think they've had a lot of games because they had Europe and everything, and they haven't got the biggest of squads either. And I think the injury to what's his name?
Jimenez, yeah.
They really are missing him. Tom's back again. Joelinton takes his new wife to bed on their wedding night. She undresses, lies on the bed, spread-eagled, and says, you know what I want, don't you? Yes, says John. The whole friggin' bed by the looks of it. Mickey says, "Big show, lads. Saw Karl on NFTV yesterday. Doing a sound job keeping the race."
Well, you know me, I'm as vocal as they come. Some of the lads on the channel don't like it, but I can't stand the bloke, so it is what it is.
Well, he's had his own say, hasn't he? I mean, it's all right for him to have a say, but anybody else, like myself, which start getting threats mailed to sent via email and stuff like that. Bring it on. This is it, right? I'm going to say it. I've had it just because it's we've had an hour and 24 minutes of disgustingness on this show anyway, so it's after 9 o'clock. Right. As to last week, many people know that I got threats that have now passed on to the local constabulary regarding personal comments saying that they hope that Parkinson's kills me first before they get to me. I can rest assured you that the Parkinson's is fine. I'm under very good medication, so thank you for caring so much. obviously I can still do little day-to-day things. I can still enjoy my life, which I intend to do for as long as I've got that opportunity. I think it is absolutely disgusting that you hide behind your keyboards, you hide behind your cameras. What I would say is I'm 6'5", ex-ice hockey player. Come and have a go to my face, because I guarantee now you won't. Because if you ever saw me face to face, you'd hide behind your little rocks that you hide under all the time before you poke your little heads out and get on your keyboards. It is disgusting what you've said about the girls. Our class Kendall, Sav and Samantha as friends, as I'm sure John does, or anybody else who's had interaction with them. They are fantastic people. They know their football, despite what the sexist pigs out there will think. You know, I had a comment tonight saying that I enjoy the Toon Review channel, and I was disappointed when I heard that Sav, whatever her name is, has joined the Toon Review YouTube channel. That is disappointing, because, you know, whether you agree with what Sav has to say or what any football fan has to say, it does not say that you can come on and make fun of the fact that she's a woman. Big deal, you know. So what the women are supposed to be in the kitchen, is that how you still live your life? Because you're sad people who think that, quite honestly. What I want to say is, I've got Sav on the show on a Wednesday now because she's brilliant with what she does. She's brilliant when she talks about football. She's a good laugh. She's been through the mill. She's had absolutely disgusting comments coming her way on Twitter. She's had a very, very difficult life. And for you lot to come on and abuse her because she's done the right thing by leaving Wraith's channel, as has Kendall and Samantha, you know, they've stuck to the morals and they've come off a show that is so hypocritical. A man who wants to go out there and pretend that he cares and then goes and slags them off on social media after he's blocked them. I think it's absolutely pathetic. And the fact that Mr. Wraith runs some sort of cult, I can guarantee you now, I found out the other day that he has over 30,000 followers, yet seemingly over 10,000 of them are bots paid for. So there you go. Make of that what you will. He doesn't have the followers that he thinks he does. He's not the king supporter of NUFC that he thinks he is. You know, and this Tommy Robinson interview has now spiraled out of control because Tommy Robinson is now going back to prison because of that interview. It shouldn't have been done. He was asked by so many people not to do it because of what that man stands for. And instead of listening to people's opinions, he turns around and calls them bullies and trolls. I can guarantee you now, Steve Wraith, I am not a bully. I am not a troll. I am a good, decent human being who isn't racist, who isn't sexist, and who has been brought up in the correct manner. I will not stand by and see my friends slagged off by keyboard warriors or by yourself. If you've got something to say to them, or say to me, or say to anybody that you've blocked, then come out and say it to the faces. Don't you be one of these people that hides behind your camera, because that's what you're doing now, and you're getting your cult members to come out and have a go at everybody else and threaten them. You know, Adam Pearson's had threats of violence to him. Loads of people have, by your cult following that you are guiding into absolute abyss. Holly, I wasn't going to bring Holly into this. However, she blocked me on Twitter last week. Told me that she didn't want to do YouTube anymore. That was a lie, because she's still on his channel. She was on his program today. She's blocked me. Now, John was the first to put her on YouTube. I was the second. And that's the thanks you get from somebody like that, who then go and block you because they're on a cult channel. And I don't care what anybody says. It's a cult channel. People follow Steve Wraith fire enough. That's your opinion, and you can do that, and I'm open to that. You can follow who you want, and I'm not going to sit here in front of a camera and tell you who you can and can't follow, because that's not who I am. But I am not going to sit here and watch my friends get absolutely mullered on social media when they are damn good people. I say it with my family as well. If my family gets into bother, I'm there to back them up 100%. And I do that with my friends as well. I've been taught that by the sport I used to play and how I was brought up by my parents. I will always back my friends and family up 100%, and I will not see disgusting things thrown at them. I can take it. You know, if you want to come and threaten me, threaten me. I don't care. But don't threaten innocent people just for having an opinion, because those people are not trolls. They're not bullies. They are decent human beings who just happen to have an opinion. And then to have that opinion and then you call them bullies and trolls is frankly disgusting. And then laughing at them behind the back when you have wished them all the best on camera, saying, I've got no malice with them, I wish them all the best. You then go and block them and then call them fat, etc., off when you've blocked them so they can't see it. Of course they're going to say it because somebody's going to take a screenshot and it gets back to them. Now stop your filthy, disgusting shite. Get on with your channel. Get on with whatever bollocks you want to do. But stop coming at everybody else. Because we run good channels. We are good people. Everybody, every other Newcastle channel doesn't have a go at each other. We're all mates. We all like each other. But you seem to start this channel and then come down saying we're all jealous because of what you've started. You were the first one to bring women on your channel and all this bullshit. No, you weren't. There was a lot more channels had women on before you. Yet you go on about how we're looking down on you, all jealous because you've got all these subscribers. It's a cult, and it always will be. So don't have your little cult members come and having a go at us. Because if you want to have a go at us, come to our faces and have a go. Because I guarantee you won't. And half of these arseholes on Twitter that come at me, threatening me, let's see them come to my door and threaten us. Face to face. Because you won't. I am not going to sit here and let the likes of Sav, Samantha, Kendall, or any of my mates be absolutely dragged down into this kind of bullshit. Get a grip, get a life, get on with your channel, and sort yourself out. End of rant. Anyway, thanks, guys. I've got that off my chest now. So, anyway, here we go. Ryan's on, and Ryan says, I'd ideally have Gale, ASM, and Murphy up top. But if you talk about form, it would be Joelinton, Gale, and Murphy against Burnley. I think Wilson's going to be fit.
Yeah.
You are still all with me, guys. You haven't gone into
sorry, Matt. I'm just trying to
I'm back again.
I'm just reveling in the glory of that, like of the rant. That was all. Sorry, mate. I don't know who I'd start. I
think Wilson's going to be fit, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, by all accounts from Steve Bruce said Wilson's going to be fit. Lee Charnley has been seen in Asda. He had a massive shite all over the floor and the manager wiped it up and spewed all over his 50-pence suit and he had to pay for it, then ran out the shop. Andrew says, what setting does Peter play on FIFA 21 career mode? I'm on Legendary as the mighty Harrogate Town.
Oh, I don't. It has no setting because I play online. So it could be any setting, really, to be honest. That's the thing.
I've played it a couple of times and gave up with it because it's the same shit year after year. You know, the same
I know people have said that as well.
It really does. I think the new Pro Evo soccer that's coming out this year may be a good one because they've changed the match engine and everything, and so quite looking forward to that one. Train Son said John and Joelinton were on the bus. The woman in front turned around to them and said, "I can smell sperm." John said, "Sorry, Joelinton has just burped."
Oh, Paul. I've got another thing. There's another thing that Paul. It was Chippers this time who sent this.
Go on then.
Chippers, mate.
Oh God. When you have to Is that Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah, I think it is.
It does. Yeah.
Oh my God, honestly. Ginger said there is no player in Newcastle apart from Hayden, Wilson and St. Maximan who can't be replaced. We've got Woodman back next season. A lot of people said that on my show last night, that there were if we go down that Woodman should become the number one. So John, what do you think of that?
Well, I think we'll lose the black car if he leaves. And well, I mean, I think Darlow wants out as well. I think if it's not guaranteed first team. So I think Woodman's got a chance to be number one for this next season if we do get relegated. You know what I mean? Yeah. But going to those names like Hayden, Wilson, and ASM, definitely be replaced. If we get relegated, I think they're all going to go. I like them. It's going to be hard to replace them. Do you know what I mean? But Ash ain't going to spend any money. He tried to go for free signings as well. But what are you going to get in the championship is another thing. But we have to wait and see. But we might not go down yet, you know. But if we take up, then hopefully get rid of Bruce. For me personally, I want to clear out. Personally, I want to clear out the club. I'll just keep about 4 or 5 players at the club. The rest can go.
Yeah. It's going to be big because I think there is going to be a mass exodus if we go down, but I don't entirely see that as a bad thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Matthew says, last night I saw Mike Ashley driving around in his Lamborghini and threw a rock at it and told him to fuck off out of this club. He said, ha ha, as he drove off. One of his tyres fell off and he spun.
Brilliant.
Ryan says there was a mole scene in a tattoo shop in Blythe with a shaved ass plus a tattoo of Joelinton on his chest saying £15 million. Matthew says, where has Barry the Ginger Snap gone? Barry the Ginger Snap is actually working tonight, so he can't be with us. Ginger said, Paul, the problem with Newcastle is the spine of the team. Centre back's not good. Not got a top centre midfielder, a top striker, and we have one, and he's not all that. I like the 10 goals this season, but with Wilson, I think Wilson could be a top-class striker, actually. I think he could be a 20-goal striker if he gets the freaking service. It's the service that are a problem. Joelinton's talking about the turbines. Turbines are like porn for the Ginger Snap. I'm sorry, Barry. It's your turn to get some hammer now, mate. Honestly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, if you do want to still donate to the show, super chats are available at the bottom of the live comments. Like I say, I'm still trying to raise the six. I'm not sending the money to Parkinson's until I get the 600 quid. So if you want to help in that way, then you certainly can. Thomas says, John has been spotted getting a tattoo of a blobfish. Yeah. Okay. Ginger would take Townsend back. I think a few people would, to be honest. I mean, I'm not sure where he's at fitness-wise. I mean, how old is Andros Townsend now?
He's got to be 29, 30, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Well, I'll have a look.
Layla says, John and Joelinton were eating in a room, then John does a poo. Then Joelinton says, no, that's not acceptable. The room is too smelly. You need nappies to prevent the smell. Now we're in with man. Did Emil Kraft win his place in a cereal box? Yeah, I mean,
that sounds like it, doesn't it?
I mean, that's where you could say a lot of Newcastle players have earned the place. You know, they've opened the cereal and then you've won a place in Newcastle United squad. Well done.
It just laid on Townsend. He's 29 years old.
29. Yeah, I thought he was up there. I see the Rubens are on about building a new shopping centre thing in the Toon on Pilgrim Street near the old cinema, near the Odeon one. Yeah, I've heard that as well. We do know that there is a lot of plans. It's not just about the takeover of the football team. It's about the area and the infrastructure of Newcastle itself. Create jobs, bringing that good feeling back to the city. Ginger's problem with Jethro is his injury record is worse than Karl. He's had 7 major injuries.
Oh,
I didn't actually know that.
Never did that.
I'm not sure we should get him in the summer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Joelinton says, me and John just don't just like blobfish. We like knobfish, arse. All the fish. Oh dear. Matthew says, Steve Bruce is mailing all season ticket holders boxes of his shit. Son Jethro liked a tweet calling Bruce a clueless wanker the other day. I seen that actually. He did. So I don't think all is rosy in the garden. So if Steve Bruce is still manager come the summer, I don't think we'll be having Jethro back. By the way, the live viewers of the show have gone a little bit down since I've had my rant. So I'm sorry if anyone got offended by that, but I'm sorry, but I'm sticking to my guns. And if you are a Steve Wraith fan, then fair enough. But I'll say it how it is. It's free speech, and I'm not here to bully, or I wouldn't have called that rant troll or bullying. It's basically just saying how it is and how it's been.
At the end of the day, when someone baits people, like you said, he's the common denominator in all this. He wants to bait people. People can have an opinion. That's it. Exactly. He keeps coming out on the defensive. He's the one that's fucking starting it all. He doesn't like when people bite back at him. So hence why he's blocked everyone.
Yeah, he's blocked everyone because they have an opinion. But what I didn't like is the fact that everyone he's blocked, or he says, have been trolling or bullying him. No, they haven't. They've been having an opinion. You're not allowed an opinion with him. If you have an opinion, he blocks you because you don't agree with him. He's not bold enough to have an adult conversation with anybody. He'd rather just block you. But that each to their own. But I will not have.
It's so sad. End of the day, Twitter's all about having an opinion, having a bit of fun, sort of thing. You don't have to agree with them. If you don't agree with them, just say, okay, cool. We have to agree to disagree. But some people take it so far, they just block them, which I think is a bit daft at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? You didn't swarm him. You didn't upset him anywhere. But they had to go at you, and they just tapped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said about Holly John to you, you know, she's made her bed, she can lie in it. Telling me that she's coming off YouTube. She's coming off YouTube for a couple of weeks and then blocking me and going straight back on his channel. That's not coming off YouTube. That's a lie.
It's I feel a little bit sorry for Holly because she's probably getting caught up in it, because I agree. Like, she's blocked all the lads at Newcastle Fans TV as well for no reason whatsoever. Like, she's always been welcome on the show, comes on the fan reaction. So we don't, you know, I think it's just.
I mean, I had a Thursday night show with her. John had a show with her.
Yeah.
But
I think,
you know,
I wouldn't put it past him, mate. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him.
Definitely him, mate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's him.
She hasn't blocked us yet. As far as I know, she hasn't blocked us yet. But you know what I mean? But what can I say? If she has done, and I don't think she has, if she has done, then end of the day, I'll give her first break, and she's gonna have to look. I don't like having to go at people, do you know what I mean? I just don't like having to go at people, but each to their own, guys, each to their own. But
yeah, but there's only so much that certain people can take when you see friends being absolutely mullered. And you know, many people have a go at social media and Twitter especially, but you know, I will always stand by the fact that there is far more good people on there than there is bad, and that's why I stay at it, because I've made a lot of friends through social media and Twitter, etc. So that you know, there is far more good people on there than bad, and it's just a case of when the bad people come along, you hit the block button and you move on. But the way it's gone lately is that people have been, you know, absolutely appallingly spoken about, which I won't sit back and take. I'm not that type of person. I will stick up for what I believe in, and I will stick up for the people I believe in.
I think that's the problem as well, though, mate. Like, a lot of people are assuming that this is about the Tommy Robinson interview. That started people making their own decision. The problem has been the way that people have handled it afterwards, like on Steve Rouse side. To be fair, like you say, that they've come out, they're the ones that have said everything's okay, and then gone and started digging people out left, right, and centre for no fucking reason.
You know, I mean, putting stuff out there from people who were clearly in a desperate situation, asking for help. Actually making that public was just, I can't for the life of me agree with that. You know, that guy was in a critical condition. He was mental health wise. He was rock bottom. He had a son, and all he was asking for was help. And then being called a beggar, etc. After that, I just can't accept that. Putting it out on social media for everybody to see that email, which is supposed to be private, it's wrong. But we've seen other things since then as well, and that's what I'm sticking up for here. I'm not, you know, I will not sit and take it and see good people dragged through the mud for no reason. And I'd do it for all of you guys as well. I would do it for everybody that I consider a friend. I would do it for anybody. So that's just who I am. Anyway, let's have a look. Matthew says, this is a strange one. Do you like Indian takeaway? If so, what do you usually get? John?
If I'm an Indian, I do like chicken korma with boiled rice on me. But I don't mind chicken tikka if it's not too spicy. But at the end of the day, chicken curry. I love chicken curry.
Yeah, I don't go further than a tikka either, John. I'm with you on that one. I like a lamb tikka masala. Peter, how about yourself?
We don't really get Indian takeaway, but we do like make curry now and again. I do like tikka masala. Balti's nice. Jalfrezi, I like that as well. Rogan is nice.
Do you do a lot of cooking, Pete?
Been doing a bit now and then.
There you go, Layla. He cooks as well. Karl, how about you?
I quite like a madrasa of Vindaloo, mate. I used to.
Jesus Christ, you go for the hard stuff.
Oh my
it's
God.
not.
I don't think of Vindaloo.
I used to like. I used to have like hot sauce on everything, so I've kind of stopped with the spicy stuff now because it is actually playing like havoc with my stomach now. Like literally, I'm not joking. I have to take these tablets called omeprazole because I gave myself some. I take
them sometimes,
some gastro issues from constantly having hot sauce with everything.
Gastro issues. I love the way you say that.
I can have a bit of a cake, but as hot as that, no chance.
I tried to. I give it the big one once in front of my pals and tried to have a fall at a restaurant, and it was ridiculous. That happened
to me at the stag do once.
Embarrassing.
4 lads got up on stage at the stag do. I think it was actually in the it might have been in Newcastle before a match. There was a stag do from Scotland, and these 4 lads got on stage and they had to eat these curries. And the winner was the one who ate the hottest one. I think he got around a 10-pint drinks token or something like that. And he had this, I think it was a foul he had, and he just started shaking on stage. He started to go red. And I mean, I was about 20, 30 yards away from him. I could see the sweat coming off him, and he had to go to hospital.
Yeah.
He had some sort of reaction to it.
Not surprised.
Christopher says, all right, lads, do you think if Newcastle lose our main players, if we go down, do you think we will bring in, do you think we'll bring in to replace them? I was asked this on the other day, and I don't know. I mean, because A, I don't know who the manager's going to be, and B, we don't know if Mike Ashley's still going to be there. So what budget do we have? It's all really up in the air at the minute. There's no good future to look forward to in a way. But Joelinton's back again. John passes me around and calls me his hood bitch. Give us the Wraith rant. Jim will fix it for you. Oh, God. It's already done, Martin. I mean, I'm behind with the comments here, obviously. Andrew says, I was watching a documentary about Ed Kemper last night, and there seems to be 1 or 2 on here. I haven't seen that Ed Kemper or know who he is, so I'll have a look at that after the show, Andrew. Paul says, need to keep Richie on the left, drop Gale and put ASM up top. I've heard a few people say put ASM up top, but I can't see it. I don't think
he played there once, didn't he? It didn't work out very well.
No, it didn't.
I think the best variation of our squad is Richie and Murphy on the wings with Wilson in the middle scoring off their crosses and ASM in a free roam position doing his magic. I think ASM is one of those players that needs to be in a free role. I don't think he's the type of player that is stuck in one role or wants to be stuck in one role. He wants to be all over the place. The Midgie effect, as Barry would say. I'm not even reading that out, Chip, as you filthy animal. Simon said, "It's fantastic show, guys. It's the best show I have ever watched, and I'm a Crystal Pastel. Sorry about that, Simon. I'm a Crystal Palace fan. I like the show as you listen to all fans, not just Toon fans, and you guys are so entertaining to watch. In many ways, I would rather watch you than Match of the Day. Keep up the excellent work. I get you there, Simon. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, mate. Thank you for the lovely comment. Really do appreciate that. Joelinton's back again. John passes me around like I'm a bike. He told me to go to PT Moorlocks to let him have a ride too. There is a rumour if we go down, Mike Ashley will sell all the assets off to make up the loss he will make on selling the club. The new owners will have to pay off Steve Bruce. Exactly, it's what we said before. No doubt that that's going to happen. Chippers again. I'm not even reading that out. Chippers, you're getting worse, my man. Absolutely. Keeping it tuned says Karl looking very professional there with the lighting and wardrobe all ready for the filming of Linton's Love, the John and Joelinton XXX movie. Careful, Karl. John might want to use that mic.
I've got a couple he can use as well, different sizes.
Oh my God, Karl, you had to go
this
there.
One's ribbed. Yeah. This one's ribbed.
Oh no, don't talk about ribbed things. Are you? Is your mic the? Is it the Blue Yeti?
This one is, mate. Yeah, and then I've got the Rode podcast there as well. Yeah,
Blue Yeti. I love my Blue Yeti.
Oh, how much do they cost me for a microphone?
It varies in quality. To be honest, I mean, I bought a few that plugged into my camera, but I've since changed my camera so it doesn't have a mic input anymore. But it just varies on quality. But I mean, these Blue Yeti things are really good. But I also use a bit of software called Voice Meter that kind of dims my voice down a bit, especially when I go on my rants. I don't want to blast people's ears out, so it's kind of good to have them. John, I'll send you the link for them, mate, so you can have a look for yourself.
Thanks, mate.
It just plugs in USB, this one, into the computer, so it's really good. Especially StreamYard picks it up straight away as well, so it's really good. Ryan says, have you seen the France Puma 11? Would ASM be world class with Digne, Griezmann, Giroud, Umtiti, and Coleman around, and also with Thierry Henry as manager? That's some squad, by the way. Joelinton said, would you let me and John service you a Mars bar and £3?
A battered Mars bar, maybe.
David's quite surprised that I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I haven't. I'm sorry. It's a bit like The Hobbit as well. I've never seen that. It's just
I've
never
seen
been
the Lord of the Rings. I've seen the Lord of the Rings. It's years ago since I last watched them, though.
I haven't seen Harry Potter either. I'm just not into them kind of films. But I mean, we all know that John has seen Joelinton's Lord of the Ring. But that's, sorry, mate. I had to get that one in. I do apologise. Joelinton says, "Why do you think John keeps looking down?" Oh God Almighty, guys! If you want to read that, you can. I'm not reading it out. John Joelinton's ring. Luke says this channel is borderline one step off Chubby Brown. Oh God. Dear me. It's not the channel, it's the show. I'd just like to point out, everybody, it's this show. The Monday night show has now become renowned for this. The rest of my shows are nothing like this, and I won't have it any other way. The Monday night show is how it is because it makes people laugh, have a good time, especially when it's like a Monday, everyone's starting the week again. But the other my shows are football based, and obviously I won't have half the stuff that comes on here in the comments. So everybody likes to get all the comments out on a Monday night because they know I won't have them on my other shows. So people that have written them down all weekend come out and force on a Monday night. Think the fake Joelinton account might have gay tendencies and can't tell mum and dad that he watches gay porn whilst throwing idiot comments. Oh God. When fans are allowed back at St James's, we need John to meet Joelinton 100%. I mean, I would love that. I mean, how good would that be, guys? It'd be absolutely fantastic. Get a photo of them together. I mean, think what the people could do with technology. Honestly. Yes, cheers. Thank you very much. Tom says, Karl, what's your favourite Birmingham West Midlands club?
None of them, mate.
Exactly. That was a good answer. That was a very good answer.
If there was any, it would be Blues because my granddad supported them. So, on my mum's side, that is. But yeah,
what, Birmingham City?
Yeah.
Andrew says after Joelinton scored his goal, I believe he'd be squirting creamy eggs from his ass after the match. PD Mullock, what's with the comeback on the cam? Seriously?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is happening? John's the double of Ainsley Harriet, ready, steady, cook.
Oh, like that.
Brilliant. Rio Ferdinand must be on an amazing bonus for all anti-NUFC fans and blind pro Ashley chat. Can you think of a thicker ex-footballer other than Bruce? Yeah, I mean, he's had his say, hasn't he? I don't really want to talk about Rio Ferdinand and give him any more airtime. Tammy Abraham linked to Newcastle, apparently. I can't see that either, unless we stay in the Premier League. Well said, Paul. Miggy shy a lot of his responsibilities as attacking outlet. What's the point of a front three if only one of them bothers to attack? Yeah, I mean, I just want to see him further forward. Don't get us wrong. I love what Miggy does. I love him as a player. But it's about time that we saw him do a lot more up front. Do you think Joelinton will be pushed out like Mitrovic was after 2 years?
It's a difficult one just because of the amount of money that we've paid for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently West Ham's 3-3 now.
Well, last time I looked, it was 3-2.
Yes, I think I might be a minute behind.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Archer says, when it comes to tactics, the man has never had great communication skills. So Steve Bruce must have changed his name to John Doolittle that talks to animals, and that's why he's got a point against Spurs. Jesus. Joelinton, John wants my tits biggest. Oh, God. Oh, my teeth. Matthew says, when fans return to the ground, I suggest not to buy anything from the club shop because it will go directly to Mike Ashley's pockets. It's done that ever since he's owned the club, hasn't he? He's just taken money off us left, right, and centre. I don't particularly buy my Newcastle merchandise from Ashley himself, anyway. Oh God. Fulham are still such an anomaly to me. I cannot decide whether they have what it takes to overtake us. It's going down the wire, guys, isn't it? It really is. Peter, I can see this going down to the last game.
Oh, it could well be, couldn't it? I mean, that is going to feel absolutely horrible. Indeed. I mean, God knows what the nerves are going to be like on the fan base if it does come to the final game of the season. You can imagine the nerves the fans are going to be feeling.
Yeah. Great show, lad, says Mark. Mickey says, brilliant, that, mate. Love that. Paul says, well said, Paul. Thank you. John calls me a side bitch. Paul says, listen, lads, I watch NUFC Matters and I watch a few shows of this nature, enjoy most of them. I'm not on Twitter or none of that shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm neutral. Hey, listen, that's fine. And like I said, I'm not going to stop I'm not going to preach on here who you should and shouldn't watch. I've never done that and I never will. Everybody can watch who they want, but I'm going to have my opinion on certain things, and that's what it's all about, is having an opinion. If you don't like that opinion, then that's fine. It doesn't make you want to, just because you disagree with my opinion, it doesn't mean that I'm, you're a troll or a bully just because you don't agree with me. Everyone has their own opinion. If you're adult enough, you talk about it and then you move on. That's the beauty of football. You talk about football, everybody's not going to agree on the same thing. Otherwise, what the hell is the point? Everybody's going to have their opinions on clubs, on players, on all sorts of stuff. And that's what football is all about. And that's what it should be about. But when it starts turning on people and people that you genuinely care for, your friends, your family, you're not going to sit there and take it. And, I'm big enough and ugly enough to come out there and speak my mind and stick up for the people that I believe are my friends or family or whatever it may be. And I will stick up for them till the cows come home. So, but I'm not going to say that, don't go and watch anybody or don't watch this, don't watch that. That is your option to do that. And you're perfectly entitled to it.
I agree. Some of his stuff, I'll openly admit, some of his stuff I've watched it. Some of it's all right. I like it. Some of it I don't. It is what it is. You're all entitled, but I just cannot stand the way that he is on Twitter. I can't. He's a hypocrite, and he wants the attention. And people might get on our backs because they don't like you. That guy's just said there he's not on Twitter, so he doesn't see it, which is understandable because some of their content is good. We all do content. A lot of the Newcastle content creators, we all come together. Not a lot of us, collaborate with Steve Rafe, but it is what it is. It's just the way he is on Twitter, and the way he handles things. He's a hypocrite in that sense. But I'm not going to bash his content.
It's the hypocritical side of it. I find it really, really annoying. But hey ho, rant has been done anyway. So, Kendo says, with Allardyce's drubbing of Chelsea, Bruce must be the worst defensive manager of all time. That was a shock result, John.
Oh, what a just! Who would have seen this one coming? 5-2. I mean, let's be real about it. I mean, look, I know Thiago Silva got sent off. Well, that made a difference. I don't know. But what they've done, they went there, had a right ball, got the 5 goals. And I know it's going to be, I think they left it too late. But they can use that as a good base for the remainder of the game and just keep winning the games. Well, I hope they don't. But they still confident to stay up. But I don't think they will. But if they win the next game, wow.
I mean, people say that Chelsea were on top until the sending off, and but that's fair enough. You expect Chelsea to be on top of West Brom, but when they went down to 10 men, West Brom changed it up a little bit. Credit to them, and they went to Chelsea. They went for the jugular, and they came away successful. You can't say that was wasn't well done, or lucky or anything. Chelsea on a normal day with 10 men could still beat West Brom. I don't care what anybody says. That is possible. I think Tuchel got a big shock about some of his players on Saturday, to be honest. Anyway, Chipper says, well said. Thomas, totally agree, Paul. Ryan says, PD Morlock was seen in a local mall shop in Blythe asking, do they like it roughly or smoothly?
Oh, God.
John, well said, Paul. Well done, total respect. Thank you. Martin, well said, Paul. Wraith blocked me on Twitter too. Mickey says, wow, Paul, mate, love that. Thank you very much. Matthew said, your recent purchases at the John and Joelinton chip shop did not go through successfully. You should pay approximately, wow, that's a lot of money, to cover the cost of chips. They are fresh from the... Ryan said, I respect the girls, but Kendall shouldn't say lies like cops hurt black people more than whites. Listen, I'm not getting into a race battle here. All I'm saying is, people will stick by what they believe in. And, Kendall's got her opinions and she's welcome to her opinions. She doesn't troll anybody with them, though, or doesn't block anybody if they disagree with her. That's not what we're talking about here. Joelinton says, let's watch Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh, God, no.
Kieran says, well said, Paul. Thank you. What's it about Joelinton, John? Notice the actual air of silence after I asked that question. He just went absolutely silent.
Man, just look. What I want him to do next Sunday to score against Bournemouth and score against West Ham and score against Liverpool and score against Arsenal. I want to see him score every single game and start performing each and every week. Now he's got an ability, but
exactly.
Just show what you can do.
You'll always love him, won't you, John? You'll always love him. Andrew says, great day for football. We've got about 5 minutes left, guys, so I'll just rattle through some of these comments. It's flown by the 2 hours tonight. Great day for football with the first female referee in a football league. Who is the best ref I've seen in the National League? Well, there you go. Martin, it's about me and John eating shit out of each other's arse.
Oh,
What? Do you know the disturbing fact is I know who this Joelinton is behind the camera, behind the scenes, and I'm going to have words with him because I mean his thought process is now bordering on whether he should be in a mental hospital. It's outrageous. Ginger said, "Big Brian is the first Newcastle fan to wake the world up." Steve Wraith, just a guy who says take over. When Tommy Robinson came on the show, I blocked it on YouTube. Shameful. Again, that's your opinion. You're welcome to it. So well said. But yeah, it's the hypocrisy that I think people have woken up to now. Well said, Paul. Absolute legend. Thanks, mate. Cheers. It's okay for Wraith to interview killers, but not Tommy. Personally, I think the girls were being hypocrites. No, that's your opinion, Ryan. You're very, very entitled to it, mate. Like I said, I'm not going to shunt anybody for having an opinion. I don't particularly agree with your opinion. That's fair enough. But like I say, you're welcome on my channel and you're welcome on my show, mate. So, we move on. You've got your opinion. I'd rather have Wheelstone Raider than Kraft. Oh, he's a classic. Have you seen the Wheelstone Raider?
Yeah.
The old book. I bet he was a hard nut in his time, wasn't he? He's kind of one of these, he's a landoner who doesn't give a damn. He wants to just kill everybody. Yeah. Well said. Never did like him. Ginger says Pro Evo 2022 should be the new Unreal 5 engine, amazing cinema graphics. That's what I'm talking about. So I think they're going to blow FIFA out the water this year, and it's about time. Because I like the gameplay on Pro Evo as well. Matthew says, well said, Paul. I was not expecting that about Holly. I think that is disgusting. She blocked you after you had her on her channel for a good few weeks and she goes and does that. Yeah, it upset me and I'm not going to hold back on it. I mean, Holly is old enough to make her decisions and she's made her decision now and that's the way it is. I'm not going to say any more on it. I've said what I needed to say on it. So there you go. Another great show, says David. Matthew says, bananas in pajamas are running down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas have eaten a load of shite. And even when they have been chasing teddy bears. What? I want to know what people actually book before they actually put comments on the Monday night show.
Oh dear.
If we go down, we can make a good team, but the real problem is we won't build on it because the scouts couldn't find Nemo in a shot glass. That's a fair point. Actually. I mean, when we talk about our scouts, we're relying on them to bring in decent players. If we go down to get us out the championship, then we're screwed. Absolutely screwed. Just go and hide in your tent outside Ann Summers, mate. You get the win. Right, Lee said scores against Burnley, guys. John?
I think you get, if I'm honest with you, I think you're going to get a draw.
Okay.
Once each.
What do you think the score?
Once each.
Ones each. Peter?
2-1 to Newcastle.
2-1 to Newcastle. By the way, John says I'm his portable human toilet. Go on then, Karl.
I'll go with I think it 2-1 Newcastle as well.
Yeah. What formation do you think we should go with? Because I mean, everybody's saying predict the score, but what do you think? What do you think is going to be our best formation, John?
I've always said this. It's got to be 4-2-3-1. It has to be. Got to be.
4-2-3-1. Yeah, Peter.
I've said it as well. It's got to be 4-2-3-1. It has to be.
Yeah. Karl, are you along the same lines, or what's your favourite formation or best formation that you think we should go for?
I was really happy with this 3-4-1-2 that we've kind of played this weekend. Massively impressed with it, to be fair. And if Joelinton can get a tune like that with Wilson as well, then I'd be happy to go with that. Again, usually I don't like us sticking with the same formation, being lazy and just thinking it's going to work, but I actually like the way we played in that formation.
Yeah. Ginger says, if these people put more into the progression of this club rather than bully fellow fans, we'll be more of a focused fan group.
Exactly.
To rescue our club from Bruce and Ashley's hands. Exactly. Well said. Chipper says, John's best takeaway is Joelinton's Brazilian battered sausage. Mark says, get Papi Cisse back. Wow. Right, I'm just going to rattle through the last few of the comments before we wind up the show. I'll go through them. I'll let you read most of them on the screen. Some of them I'm not even going to read out. They're just disgraceful. Oh my God, a foul. Wow. Blue Yeti, not Blue Waffle, John.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much, Judy, for the £10 donate. I really appreciate that. Get the tinnies in. For the next 7 days, I am officially becoming a Villa supporter. Smash that like button, by the way. Thank you so much, Judy. I appreciate that. Martin says he's just watched Two Girls in a Cup.
Oh, really?
Martin, I don't want any WhatsApp messages about that later.
Luke says this show should be called Blue Monday. Damn right. You talk of the Toon, Paul, about your rant. Am I? Okay. I'll have a look at that later. Great.
That's brilliant.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But, that's just... I know, listen, at the end of the day, I know who's got me back. You know what I mean? If people want to, either say they like the rant or they hate the rant or whatever, but I know who the people are I can trust, and that's the end of the day. I know who my mates are and who've got my back, just like I've got theirs. Simple as that. Andy says, Grish, oh my God. Martin says, I'm going to hit the internet waves. Well, let it be. Terry Smith says, West Ham 3-2, 80 minutes gone. I don't know whether that's changed because I'm a bit behind on the comments. Just finish these ones up. There's not more left. Still 3-2 to West Ham. I've never used Twitter and never will. Some people don't. Have you sport you miss about me? David, honestly, chill pill. Honestly, you're as bad as John for your impatience getting stuff done. Just let me work on it. It's in progression, right? Just chill. Crack and show this evening, says Chippers. Thank you very much. You're just about to end now. Last few comments coming through, and then we'll call it a night. Joelinton needs to go running with the midgie. Trainson, is there any truth that the Angel of the North was based on John giving Joelinton a horizontal? Oh my God. Chipper says, John, who's nuts are better, Cadbury's or Joelinton's? Paul says, why can't the fans take the wind-ups and bullshit and stick together? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Tom said, they said on TalkSport tonight that clubs will take the knee for the foreseeable future. I don't know whether it does any good anymore, but Harry Hamburger says, sent you a DM on Twitter, Paul. Great show, guys. I'll have a look at that after the show, buddy. Great show tonight, lads. Thank you very much. We're going to wind up now. Just the last couple of comments to put on the screen, and then that'll be it. Because I don't want to miss anybody's comments out, especially if the Slate and John are having. Oh, God. He's Sharky. Even the lads much better yesterday. It must be a win against Burnley. Definitely, we have to go on. Paul, how's your fundraising going? It's all right. I'm going to come. I'm going to count it up during this week. I think on Friday I'll count it up and I'll let everybody know on next week's Horsemen show what we're on. Because I do want to get this. I don't want to just hand over a couple of hundred here and there. I want to raise the 600 that I set out to raise. So that's what's more important to me to get to that target. Do we know about the kit sponsors for next season? No. I don't think anything.
Rumours it could be Castory, but again,
yeah, I've heard that as well.
What I will say on this as well, I think we could do with a change now from Puma. I must say, I think Puma. I think sometimes Puma been saying with us dross lately with kit. I mean, I didn't like the season's yellow away kit. I thought last season's home kit was garbage as well. And
we just need to spruce it up a bit, don't we? I mean, I would love to see the Blue Star come back. Me, I would absolutely love it.
Oh,
just for memories and just historical reasons, I think that Blue Star stood for everything about Newcastle United, the good times, all right, it wasn't the best football team we've ever had with that Blue Star on the front, but my God, well, actually, we did have a decent team towards the end of the Blue Star, but it's just how I feel. I love that. David says, I got your back, Paul. Thanks, mate. Have a good ASMR show, John. Joelinton says, I need an oil and down. So there you go. Oh, we've got one more. I've heard that a few clubs have had problems with Puma. I think the designers of the football strips are absolutely outrageous. Right, we've ran slightly over tonight, guys, but thank you very, very much for everybody who's taken part in the show. Some of you need urgent medical attention. Psychologists,
particularly.
There's Archer, Kendo. There's a few of you out there tonight who've come in with and Mr. Joelinton himself. There's a few of you who really, really need help. So I suggest that you get it in time for next week's show as well, because I'm expecting it all again next week. But guys, you enjoyed yourselves tonight?
Yeah, thank you very much again. I was knackered before coming on, but now I'm wide awake, happy, and inadvertently going to be dreaming about John, Joelinton, and Cleveland Steamers. And I've got
that's a regular thing on a
no
Monday
control
night.
over it.
You don't. I've had various ones of John and Joelinton on, going cycling in Amsterdam and everything like that. Without even thinking about it, my Monday night dreams are incredibly weird. Thanks to this show. That's weird. Thank you to the guys that have donated on Super Chat tonight. I really do appreciate that. That will be going straight into the pot towards the Parkinson's charity for me. So I do appreciate that. Coming up this week, I've got tomorrow night the Fan Forum with Adam Pearson is joining me for that, so it should be a good show. Wednesday night, obviously Wednesday night live with me and Sav. It's our first ever show, so if you can think of anything you want to see on that show, competitions and things like that, send me a DM on Twitter, because I'll be interested to know what you want on that show. Peter, you got anything coming up?
I will be back with the preview, and I'll be back to the original for the Burnley. So the quick thoughts and player ratings will be back.
Cracking.
For this
John, no doubt you've got about 10,000 live streams to get through this week.
Well, I've got one tomorrow night with Andrew talking about the championship for the first time, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that should be a good one, yeah.
Championship for one that. And Wednesday, I've got to think of something. First, I'll be thinking of something, probably match preview. And then on Friday, usual press conference reaction. And Saturday, I'm not sure yet. Sunday, I'm going to do the watch along reviews, but it'll probably be for the first half. You may have to cover it for the second half. I'm going to take my mum out to get a COVID test. So,
right. So you're ditching me again for your mother's COVID test.
Yeah. So you can cover that with Dave as well, apparently. So it shouldn't be too long.
Whatever. That's fair enough. Karl, anything coming up on NFTV this week?
I know we're working on a studio space at the moment, so something probably not this week, but then hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be getting together properly for the watch along. We've got the Influence. It was supposed to be tomorrow with lead judges from Arsenal Fans TV, but that's next week. So I don't really know. I've got a couple of things coming up with technology unboxings and stuff on NFTV Extra, something different away from football. Just a plethora of stuff.
Good
just
stuff.
random stuff.
Well, thanks very much, everybody, for watching again tonight. It has been an absolute blast. I'm sure everyone can agree. We've had a good laugh, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Thank you for sitting through my rant, but I felt that it was something that I needed to do and get off my chest. So if you liked it, fair enough. If you didn't, well, that's your opinion as well, and you're perfectly entitled to it. Like I say, everybody's entitled to an opinion as far as I'm concerned, but you don't come at me, friends and family, simple as that. But thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you again at 8 o'clock next week for the 4 Horsemen of the Toon. Thanks, guys, for participating tonight. Cheers, Peter, Karl, and John. And we'll see you for the Horsemen again next week. Take care.
Thank you.
Strong.